Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We are Split Screen, and we are Beachhead 34, and we are Hermes Akumu, and we are DaddyCrit. So today is going to be all things E3. I haven't had a chance to sit down with these two lovely gentlemen and talk about it. We saved it all for this show, episode 8. So that's what this is. So I hope you guys are strapped in, ready to go, ready for a good discussion, because there's a lot to talk about. A lot of positives. I don't tend to say a lot of negatives because I don't kind of, you know how I am. I think I don't tend to glorify those, but some things I didn't care for. I'll say that. And I think these guys are the same way. But of course, we have, as the two gentlemen below me, we have Hermes Akumu. Go ahead, Hermes. Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Hermes, and I am an artist here on the Twitch platform. And as always, it's a pleasure to be here on Split Screen.
Awesome. Holy shit. So we have, sorry, I punched my mic. We have another guest, a guest that you have seen before, that we had actually did an interview. It was our first interview, I think, that we ever did for a Split Screen. So that was kind of exciting. Finally making his way back. Go ahead, DaddyCrit, introduce yourself. What you been up to?
I'm DaddyCrit. I'm what you might call an extinct streamer. I haven't been.
We did an interview and you're like, I'm fucking out of here.
If there's no more VODs on your channel, you may be an extinct streamer.
Oh man.
No, so I've been taking a long hiatus from streaming, just doing family stuff and playing more games just casually to kind of step away from the streaming for now. But I've been enjoying myself, and I miss you guys. If you're out there, if you miss me, that's great. If not, that's fine too. Whatever.
Nice.
But just happy to be here with these boys on camera for once in a while.
So yeah, we've definitely missed. We play the games occasionally. Majority of the time is Apex, because you're still addicted to that. But it's it's been a while since we've actually been able to just sit down and chat. I don't know if Hermes, if you've had any opportunity to sit and talk with Crit at all.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit. Nice. Talked about upcoming, what we've been playing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I know, Hermes, what have you been playing lately?
I jumped back into Grounded, and I have been playing the crap out of that game. And I've built a lot, explored the entire backyard, and I'm psyched for the upcoming update that was announced at E3.
Well, what was the date on that?
Like description of that. For the whole backyard.
Yes, their trailers are fantastic. Their trailers are so good.
They outdo themselves every time on their trailers. And I think June. I don't know. I'll have to check the update date. I don't want to lie.
It's coming up soon though. I don't think it was too far away.
Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely right around the corner.
What about you, Crit? What have you been playing outside of Apex?
A lot of Apex. No, I've been doing a lot of Apex recently. Doing a little bit of Apex here and there. Now, I've been
when recently I'm playing Apex. I'm playing Apex.
I'm playing Apex. Yeah. Recently been playing some Dead by Daylight. Recently got into that. What else? I discovered. I didn't discover it. I finally started playing after years of putting it off. Playing at Coaster and playing at Zoo. So I've been doing that a lot. I've been doing a lot of emulating. I mean, buying real systems and real cartridges for old games and playing a lot of DS and Game Boy Advance games. Going back and playing the 2003 version of Yu-Gi-Oh! On Game Boy Advance is a lot of fun. So
nice.
Yuck.
So
is it still good? Like, how's it run?
It's very good because my thing is, if I wanted to play a Yu-Gi-Oh game now, there's so many new cards and stuff they've done, and like the cards get fuller and fuller of text, and I'm like, what does this thing do?
What does that say?
And I can't even see it. And it's there's so many words that you're just like, so it does 4 things. What was the first thing again? I forgot what the first thing did. And so going back to like an 03 game where it was just like, oh, Blue Eyes White Dragon. It was like, oh man, this is great. I know that card. So
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Music again, really good. Hearing that music from the start screen is just like, oh, childhood, dude. My childhood.
That's awesome. I did want to. I've kind of been playing Warzone. Actually,
really?
Shittily enough. New season dropped yesterday.
Call us a Bruvian, just saying.
Yeah, I know. Bruvian would be so great to. Yeah, man.
You're out there, I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, do we miss you? I know he's busy though. Tesla's kind of doing some crazy shit. So, I've been playing, Warzone new season dropped yesterday, and it was the last 2 times I played have been the worst time I've ever had in the game.
Oh,
Why didn't call us?
And I don't know. It's when I got off the game last night and I was like, what the hell do I keep playing this game for? Right? You ever have that, like, you just kind of like, what am I doing? I don't know if Apex has ever hit you that way, but maybe just on a bad night, you know what I mean? So it was just, man, the worst. But hopefully because I don't like to play single player games at nighttime. I just don't. It's just like, when I'm just chilling, hanging down. If my wife's got, puzzles she's doing for her Instagram thing that she does, or if she's playing another game, whatever it is, right? I don't want to just zone out because those are the games I play during the day. Luckily, I'm fortunate enough to do that and stream them. But I just, for whatever reason, I hop onto Warzone and I'm miserable. So maybe I'll change that. Apex instead. I prefer Apex. I do.
Well, right? On the fucking Apex, man. I've actually. It's funny you said that because I was talking. You guys know I play with my friend Harvey, and we were playing a lot. And I actually this past week I haven't been playing that much because I was doing more Dead by Daylight with some other friends from high school that I haven't seen in a while. And I was like playing Dead by Daylight. We played Sea of Thieves the last couple nights too because the update's coming out. We'll talk about that later.
For sure.
And so I've been kind of off Apex. So when I go in, I usually go in for a game or two a day at least, just to kind of not get rusty. And I definitely feel rustier after not playing it for like 3 or 4 hours at night because it's just like man, I should hit those shots, And there are days where I'm like, man, I want to quit this game. But it's funny because I was trying to get better, and once I hit I got my 2K badge, 2K damage badge finally. Harvey commented, and he was like, "Man," I was like, "We're gonna go to every fight. We're gonna get involved in every situation. We're not gonna pull out anything." And he was like, "Someone's getting spicy after 2K badge. Okay, all right, let's go." And it's gone. Awesome. It's like more confidence. So
yeah, that always better. Yeah, you get that 2K badge, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm great.
Change your life.
I'm really good at this game." It's like I'm a whole new other person right now. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna announce it. So I want to. If you guys see in chat right now, there's somebody by the name of antisocialghost_YT. That is our newest moderator for the channel.
Hey,
we haven't seen him, and I haven't actually had the chance to officially do this. So I'm glad he's here. Thank you, Ghost, for being here. We appreciate you. Welcome to the moderation team. They're full of silly goofers. So do what you need to do. But we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome, and welcome to the team as always. Thank you. But let's go ahead, hop straight into some of the E3 stuff. I wanted to touch on. I'm gonna get it out of the way. Let's go.
Subscribe.
Hang on. There we go. I'm celebrating Ghost. There we go.
There we go.
Let's go.
Nice. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. So biggest announcement. I think in my eyes, I think in Crit's eyes, I maybe in Hermes' eyes. I'm not sure. Let's just get it out of the way.
Definitely. I can respect the fact that it was a company that had gone silent for years.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years, I think.
2 years, I think.
Yeah.
But of course,
2 years.
I am talking about the Elden Ring. Finally,
tarnished.
Oh my god! I tweeted that out just that. And I was like, oh, it feels so good to just like say shit like that from the trailer and just, you know what I mean? It just feels so damn good. We finally got to see gameplay. We finally got a release date, which I was 21 days away from being 100% accurate. My hot take was it was going to release. You're going to get a date. It's going to release this year. Oh my God, I was so close. But that video actually did very, very well on YouTube. I had a reaction video that me and Hermes did. And somebody was like, I've seen a lot of Elden Ring reactions, and this is the best one. So that was really cool. Somebody awesome commented on that. So what did you guys think? I want to get your guys' take on Elden Ring, because it's probably what a lot of this is going to take up. I know I've been watching a lot of videos from YouTube. I think, what's his name? How do you say his name? Vati Vidya. Yeah, exactly. He did a couple videos now on Elden Ring.
The Lord and Savior.
Oh, definitely. He did one from the initial trailer, just kind of broke it down himself. And then I think there was an additional, Jesus Christ. I think there was additional one that was just, well, let's go. Ghost. That's what I'm talking about. My man, look at this. Already a mod and losing his mind. That's what happens when you mod the channel. You just lose your mind. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, Ghost. I appreciate you. But it's, he put two fantastic videos out. One of the interview that Miyazaki did, I think, with who, I don't remember who the interview was through.
IGN, I think.
Was it IGN? Okay.
I think it's IGN, yeah.
And he touched on so much information, but the interview didn't give me that. His video did. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you guys get a chance, also, it's in our Discord. We have a specific Elden Ring Discord channel or category in the Discord for all things Elden Ring, coming up to it with, leaked articles if you want. That is one very, very, that's one category or one game that I will allow leaks, because it's like, as long as it doesn't spoil the story, which is hard to do, it's, you know what I mean? I'm okay with it. But, so if you guys are not in the Discord, definitely think you should join that.
Also,
what do you guys
if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be linked down below. Yeah, the Discord.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. What do you guys think? I want to hear what your takes.
It looks awesome. I mean, everything that I felt was, I haven't played Dark Souls, let me preface with that. But everything that I felt like was missing for me from from Dark Souls, it seems to be in Elden Ring. So I'm excited to play through.
Yeah, for sure.
Get to Elden Ring and play that.
I think what this does is it combines all the games, all the FromSoft games, right? In a weird way. It takes things from Sekiro, and that the jumping is something that they've included. What's that? Stealth kills? Yeah, I mean, stealth.
Or skill. Yeah, it's stealth kills and skills in general.
Yes.
Just being able to unlock combat skills and stuff.
So it's going to be I think a beautiful tribute to all games before it, right? I'm just fucking excited. I just can't wait.
I'm very excited about the fact that so I was gonna say, it looks like it is definitely Breath of the Wild inspired, and I think that people are wondering a lot. Are we gonna get full cities and towns and stuff? Miyazaki said we're not going to do that. That's not what we do. That's not our bread and butter. We're not good at that. Exactly. So we're going to keep to the sparse NPCs that are scattered. Like you might just, I mean, we're assuming we're just going to find an NPC like randomly in the woods. Like, oh, you want to find NPC 42. He's a big person in the game, but you have to be traveling in the such and such forest in world or area 5 between certain times of day, or he only comes out in thunderstorms or things like that. You know what I mean? Like I can definitely see an NPC like to the caliber of like Ornstein or Sigmar, just like wandering around trying to like catch lightning or something in a storm. And it's like you only see him then. So I can appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact that there are it is an open free world where there's wandering mobs, and how he talks about how you can, we see in the trailer when he's on the horse like charging at somebody, like swiping a sword to joust almost. There's these demons with spikes through their chest pulling a carriage, and Vashi talks about in his video about how that is moving through the world, and that could be encountered at multiple places throughout the world. So if it's going from point A to point B, then you can find it anywhere in between, and you might find it on a mountain pass. He might find it in the plains or whatever.
Right.
It could be raining at nighttime or what have you, and there's ways to go about doing that. And there's also ways that would seem to disengage from that too, and not feel like I'm stuck here in this boss fight. You know what I mean? So it's a wandering thing. So I'm excited to see. I'm interested to see how they handle the respawn, because that's what I've heard a lot is the checkpoint system, that no bonfires, and you have to imagine that there's certain areas you can't put a bonfire down, but you can make camp somewhere, kind of like in Breath of the Wild.
Right. Okay. Yeah, he did touch. They said that that one of the images or quick little images was the fact that it was him sitting by a campfire, not necessarily a bonfire that was placed, but almost one that maybe was constructed, like you mentioned in Breath of the Wild, which would be really, really neat. I'm very excited for it.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. We know we're gonna love the gameplay. I think there's gonna be a ton to explore. secrets, lore to find out. It's not going to, like all games from Soft, it's not all thrown at you in front of you. You know what I mean? You got to dig for it. If you want to know the extended lore, or even, I don't know, even like it, because none of it's going to be on the surface, right? You're going to get your very thin layer of story going to get you through the game. You're going to understand who you're going against, who's, you know, who you're supposed to be, who you are, right? But then the rest of it, like specifically, you know, bosses or NPCs, learning the characters and diving deep into their lore is obviously going to be part of the fun. I think that's kind of the appeal for a lot of these Dark Souls games, I think.
Right.
But it's, god damn it, I'm so excited. And it's only January, right? It's not next year. It's not well, I'm saying it's not next year, but it's not like next fall. It's literally the first month.
It's not like a year and a half away. Right. It's like only a few months.
Yeah, it's 6 months away, right? That's insane to me. That's so good.
I'm interested in the character we see in the trailer who does say, like, you know, a lowly tarnish playing as a lord, because he was in the announcement trailer.
The guy who was like had the arms and all the everywhere.
Yeah, and he was in the announcement trailer as well. And I'm wondering if he's in the announcement trailer and he's focused so much in this trailer, is he just the boss of like the first world? Because we've heard from Miyazaki that there are going to be 6 worlds or 6 areas, essentially
6 areas that are all open world with smaller dungeons included into them.
Yeah, and there's like there's a set way you can it's like, you know, this makes sense to follow this path, but you can follow whatever path you want. Right. In Dark Souls 1, you don't really want to go to the catacombs first, but you can if you want to. You know what I mean? Like you can get through it in theory if you roll around a lot and don't get hit. But it's interesting to see, is he going to be the overarching whatever? Is he going to be the first boss of the area, or Tower Knight was, or what? So
so excited about it, man.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I could gush about it all day, and we could just make this an Elden Ring cast. But
let's go.
Let's keep it rolling here. We're just going to be touching on a couple of the big ones, and if you guys have anything in chat, or of course later on YouTube, go ahead, throw them in the comments. For the live chat on Twitch, go ahead. If you guys have any questions, there is a highlighted message that you can redeem that I made dirt cheap. So if you guys want to use some channel points on that, get your question into us. We'll try to answer them as best that we can. Or if you have any games that you may want to pass on to us, that would be greatly appreciated too. We're always into looking up new stuff. I know Crit is. I know Hermes is as well. But a couple of the larger things, I think right off the bat, next would be... I think Hermes and I are extremely excited about. I think Crit, you're excited. You just haven't seen anything about it, and that was kind of your take. It is going to be the Starfield Xbox PC exclusivity confirmed, as well as a release date. Didn't get, of course, any gameplay, which is fine. I didn't expect any, especially a game that's a year and a half away. Right.
Right.
We'll get it. Go ahead.
Also made completely during quarantine, which is something that Todd Howard said well on stage, that it was made from home for most people.
Right. Which is impressive. You know what I mean? What's that?
Yeah, I'll take a cinematic at that point.
Yeah. You know? Right. And we'll see. I think we don't want a game rushed. We want a game to come out when it's ready. I mean, we don't want, I'm going to keep saying it, but I enjoyed it, but it is the example to use is Cyberpunk currently.
It's one of my favorite games, and it's still known as Cyberbug to me.
Right,
you know?
Right, exactly.
From what I've heard from like the developing community as well, is that their consensus is when quarantine hit, if you were making a game already and working on a game and had to go to quarantine or work from home, it was very hard. If you hadn't started your game yet or had like just started it, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Right.
It's easier to like, you know, start the foundation at home and then we can come back together again. Let's finish it up at super speed. Compared to we've done all this stuff together, and now it's like we can't, you know, communicate the same way we had before. So because the wrench has been thrown in there.
Think about file transport for that. Those files have to be huge. They're not like optimized in any way, shape, or form.
No, there's no way.
It's definitely terabytes of data that they need.
Dude, that's insane to me. I don't know how. I don't know how it could be.
Yeah, done. I mean, imagine like if we were on a dev team and it was like, hey, you know, Beach, you're in charge of this area in the game. Okay, cool, I can do that. But then, you know, you go to quarantine, it comes to find out that like, hey, we can't get rid of Beach, but like because of Beach's like, you know, family responsibilities due to the quarantine, he can't work during the day. He works more at night, and the team isn't on the night; they're on during the day, and that leads into a lot. So instead, you can say, all right, cool, you're at home. We're starting a new game. Who works at nighttime? You guys are on a team. Who works during the day? You guys are on a team. You know what I mean? So
Very, very
I
true.
was like that.
And
I'm excited for it.
I think I'm not excited about the game because, well, I am excited for game. I'm excited to see gameplay more so. But I'm excited that it is as an Xbox preferred system for me. It is cool to see Xbox finally committing to the exclusivity of the purchase that they made, which was kind of up in the air going into it. People were like, hey, who knows? I think Starfield will be on PS5. That's so many people they're going to be losing. You don't spend $7.5 billion to be multi-platform. You know what I mean? You just don't, right? That game is going to be a Game Pass seller is what that is. And if you don't believe in Game Pass, I don't know who the hell you are.
I don't know who you are.
So
you're insane. I'll break it down for you right now. I swear to God, I'll get the numbers out.
I will. I'll get the calculator right now. But
it'll be a split screen special, guys.
It will be.
It'll be a special episode.
A math.
The number carries over to here.
I will get a chart. I will get a calculator out. We'll do it all. Next would be something Crit you were very excited for. I'm just kind of touching on the big ones like I mentioned before, but Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 release window and new trailer. I didn't play the first one. I know how impactful and how well received it was. What are your thoughts?
Breath of the Wild is the best game in the generation, and I will stand by that to anybody who says otherwise, because I think that Switch came out during a time period where you obviously are transitioning from Xbox One into Xbox X and S, PS4 to PS5, that kind of thing. So it's a mid transition console. Breath of the Wild changes a lot of things in the gaming industry, and I mean, we were talking about Elden Ring. First thing we said, Breath of the Wild meets Dark Souls, because it's the go-to game for open world games now. And it's one thing it does is that it changed how we do open world games. They don't have to be full giant things like a Ubisoft Assassin's Creed, which my thoughts on the Assassin's Creed DLC are meh. But you don't have to have a game packed full of a million people just wandering around doing nothing or giving you a bunch of quests that don't matter and a bunch of collectibles. You can have this big open world and just let it breathe. So that's my take on Breath of the Wild 1. It was great. Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be fantastic because it's just the same team, same people, same everything as Breath of the Wild 1. It's just going to give you more content, more to explore. I'd imagine a new area or a newly remodeled area, if you will.
Well, they've already confirmed it's going to be in the sky, right? Like verticality is a big part of it,
right? So and that gives you enough to change things up in the play area. And I think that
I have a question. Did you play through it, Crit? Like all the way? Okay. Did spoiler free for people watching? Did it end to have a second one?
I'll be honest, I don't really remember the end of the story that well, because I played it. I played a lot of it afterwards. So I but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it does have a good, like, when it finished, it was, I don't remember what happens, but I remember feeling like there is definitely a sequel that could happen from this. It wasn't like, and all was well forever and ever. It's just like,
end of the story.
They lived happily ever after. Yeah, so that didn't happen.
Is this the first? Is this the first Legend of Zelda 2 that we're getting?
Yeah. Okay. We've gotten like playoff. I think like Wind Waker got a DS game too that wasn't Wind Waker 2, but it was kind of similar to Wind Waker in the Toon Link style and all that.
Was that Phantom Hourglass?
I don't think so. No, there was a different one that came out, I think, on DS or 3DS that was like a Wind Waker style game. You're on the boat on the water and all that, but it wasn't Wind Waker 2 or anything. It wasn't like a sequel to the story of Wind Waker. But all the Zelda games have always just been pocket stories and legends where it's like you're reincarnated almost as Link and Zelda are all just like in different times. And so to go into a sequel is really cool because this is the thing they've never done before. But what really excites me about the game is that Breath of the Wild 2 comes out next holiday season. When do you think Switch Pro is going to come out?
Never.
With the game they launched the Switch originally with?
Here's my hot take for Switch Pro.
Tell me your hot shit take. What's up?
Is if they consider it the same system, right? Where they can continue the sales, like, oh, it's still a Switch, right? it's still a Switch. We can still count these as the ever-growing best-selling console ever, instead of completely starting over, like, oh, the Switch Pro is whatever. Why would you? Why?
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
kind of
Why? What is
for
the?
me? It feels like a
Yeah,
if it isn't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
But the
Right.
thing about the Switch is the Switch is kind of broke. And there, as a Switch owner since day one, like they did the announcement on the Switch, and I went out the next day to GameStop at 10 a.m. in the morning and like pre-ordered everything for it. I spent like $600 on a pre-order in a day,
Right.
and for $300 console, mind you. And
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I went, yeah, give me arms. I want
That's how-
arms. I gotta have arms.
I will tell you, that's the way it was with me at Xbox One. I pre-ordered the system with my wife. We went there, pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered every launch game the game came out with.
And Hermes.
I think I did like 2 or 3.
Did you?
I didn't. I was the same way. I went to Best Buy at the time, so I was
Xbox
like,
yeah.
One?
Oh no, I was with you for the Series S.
Yeah,
there you go.
coming
It's
me
like,
hot
it's a-
like that. What the fuck?
It's fine.
This guy
Fine.
over here. You were
Guys,
still in a
fine.
diaper.
Jeez.
No, I wasn't.
I know
Well,
you were.
we beat Hermes up. Good lord.
Oh shit.
No, I so when I bought the Switch, I mean, I bought it from day one. I've had it since day one. Bought Breath of the Wild, bought Arms, bought Splatoon 2, I believe. And whatever came out at the time, I bought it. And yeah, so I got everything. I love the Switch. However, there are some flaws in the Switch console. I mean, the Switch Lite came out and fixed some of the flaws that the Switch base has. The controllers of the Switch, laying in bed holding the Switch like this, is not comfortable on your hands long term. There is no grip on the back of the Joy-Cons that make it comfortable. I have attachable pieces to the Switch that I put on there to make it comfortable. The button tactile click is really annoying because over time it kind of wears and it becomes very like, I'll be in bed and my wife's asleep and it's just like, and it gets stuck sometimes.
Right.
And it's not great. The picture is great on the Switch for what it is, but I mean, you got to think like if they're making the Switch in 4 years ago, and they're trying to keep up with 4K of this and PS5 and Xbox and PC. I mean, they're not trying to be. Nintendo's never been the graphics powerhouse of anybody, but they do want to keep up. And I can definitely see. I mean, PS4 was a great selling console. Why make PS4 Pro? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be nice
But
to get
that's-
some 4K optimization too for some Switch games. That would look good,
Yeah, and even if it's just native 1080p on handheld is a breath of the fresh air. And I think that would be a great thing. I also think that a slightly bigger screen would be great. I do think it would be a mistake if they made it so that the Joy-Cons don't fit the Pro. I think it should still be the same Joy-Cons, because otherwise I've got 4 Joy-Cons that are just shit now, and no one's gonna buy them.
Here's my pushback is, yes, the Switch came out when? You said what, 4 years ago? 4 years ago?
March 3rd, 2017. 3/3/17.
The Xbox One X, which is marketed as like a 4K machine, came out the same year as the Switch, and the Switch did just fine. You know what I mean? So like that's my pushback is Nintendo doesn't need it. What is a 4K Mario gonna do for you that it doesn't already do for you? You don't play Mario because you don't play Mario because it graphically looks pleasing. You play Mario because it's Mario, and the gameplay is going to be on point and hands down better than any other platform you've ever played.
Yeah, and I don't know that I can list a Nintendo first party that isn't cartoon.
Right.
Well,
yes, exactly. Yes, you don't need a 4K for the art styles that these games are. I think Breath of the Wild 4K, whatever version comes out, will look fucking stunning, right? It'll just look great. Yeah. That's just hands down. I know that, but you don't need it to. You know what I mean? That's my point.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. It's like it's a different art style that doesn't need it. And I agree. I don't think 4K is. I think for me, the only thing I would want from like an upgraded Switch, if I wanted to have a better graphics setup, would just be 1080p. That's it.
And I think allow it right through the pass through to your TV. 4K might be different than actually considering it to have an OLED screen that's 4K in your hand.
Oh yeah,
right.
I don't need that. I have no need for that at all. Because you're right. I don't need to see Mario's nipples and
you don't.
4K. So.
You don't. He barely has any in Odyssey, right?
He got him in Odyssey. Yeah, he got
That's
him in Odyssey,
true.
and they're there. And
that's
so the biggest news in the time was like, forget the game. Mario's got nipples. Wait a minute.
Here's a human being. Here's a little pushback on Breath of the Wild, and this is coming from me, and this is just being devil's advocate for somebody who hasn't played the game. I played a little bit of it. A buddy of mine had a Switch. I borrowed it. He's like, hey, I beat all the games that are launched. You can use it. I played it maybe for a night. I wasn't a big Switch player as is. I own one now, but I don't have Breath of the Wild. It's more for me and my daughter to play Mario and Mario Kart, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff, right?
You're right.
But my pushback is I've never heard anybody talk about the story. I've only heard the game and the gameplay.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that being said, I've never played all the Zelda games, but most of the Zelda games, if I recall, haven't really been a big story push, right? Like,
Okay.
I mean, it's like, oh, I'm Link, and there's an evil thing that I have to stop, and there's a princess who either has power or is helpless, depending on the game we're in, and I have to do that, and I have to, get the MacGuffin, aka I have to get these 4 heroes, legendary heroes, back from these 4 bosses, fight the big boss, and I win.
You know
And
what?
that's the game.
How many? I'm gonna do a quick little search here, but so there. Oh my fucking Jesus!
A lot
Okay,
of Zelda games.
so here's my other thing. When do these games not die, but like I get the same vibe that for maybe, and this is why I haven't played either one, and I'm playing my first Final Fantasy game. Is when do these games stop coming out? Right?
You
like
mean games that don't just play
not
through
stop,
for
not stop coming out. I don't mean that because Zelda sells very well, and this is multiple things. But like, when
have
do
they?
Go ahead.
When have they beaten a dead horse too many times?
Apparently never, because Breath of the Wild was innovative, right? As long as that is the case, if you change in the style up, maybe that's it. But like, part of me is I don't know how many other franchises, like I don't know how many Final Fantasy offshoots there are, right?
So to be fair, so I get what you're saying about like, because Final Fantasy is kind of the same way for me. Final Fantasy has a really good story in most of the games. 10, people will tell you, I'm sure all day long, 10 is one of the best games of all time.
Yeah, my community won't shut up about 10.
I know, people love it. But keep in mind too, original Final Fantasy games like 1, 2, 3 that are all on the PSP and can all be emulated, are literally just it's that typical.
That's another thing
RPG.
I want to talk about.
It's that typical RPG of we're the heroes because we are the heroes. We're the chosen one. Blah blah blah. He's the bad guy. Go beat the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the newer ones like 7 or actually 6, I think onward is when you start getting into more of the character development and all that,
Right.
and individual character. Not just like, oh, here's the black wizard, white wizard, barbarian, thief team. It's my name's Cloud.
Yeah.
I think that if you are really into the game, and I think that one thing that Final Fantasy VII, the remake, does is it kind of takes you out of that story because you are more into the action and less, like, you're trying to like go faster almost. You know what I mean? You want to get into the action less than like the talking.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's written down, you don't have that weird dialogue of like the enemy grunts and stuff like you were saying today about God, what are you doing over there? Just looking around. And it's like, just stop, this is weird. But if you read that, you don't have that, you know what I mean? So it lends itself to like you don't lose the story as much because you're not hearing this weird translation. So that's one of the upsides of the older versions. Zelda's always really innovated things. I mean, when they came out on the handhelds, it was always like, newer graphics and big storyline and blah 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 blah. That's great. And then they had like the new art styles in Wind Waker, and the sea travel in Wind Waker was a big thing. And then they had Ocarina of Time. I didn't play Ocarina of Time, but I remember that was the 64, wasn't it? And that was about the first 3D Zelda and all that. So it's always kind of benefited from innovation. But Zelda, with Breath of the Wild especially, it takes what it has going for it and doesn't try to be more, because Zelda could have easily been like, welcome to Hyrule, a bustling city, a town or world on the grow, but they made it and said, no, this is a beautiful world. Go look at it. Go enjoy it. Go experience it. So I think that because they're not trying to, if they had done that, if they had made it very full and a lot of collectibles and a lot of like, the fairy wants you to go find 50 collectibles throughout all of Hyrule and a bunch of other stuff, then I think it would have been beating a dead horse. Absolutely. But they didn't do that. It kind of, it took a step back from the typical formula. So.
Gotcha. Okay. I have to get on it because if it's something I'm curious by nature. So it's one of those things where, I love talking about stuff that I haven't had a chance to play. And I just want to make sure, because 27 games of one title is a lot. right? And granted, they're different offshoots and all that, but it's one.
Mhm.
For as far as I know, it's one character, right? You're always Link. Is that true? Like you're always.
Yeah, except for
Yeah.
one of the games you're Sheik, which is actually Zelda, and I don't know.
Gotcha.
Ocarina of Time, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. All right, we'll keep it moving.
I'm a normie. I'm a normie.
So we have next. They have Square Enix Guardians of the Galaxy was officially revealed. I watched the trailer. I watched the gameplay. They actually did a fairly decent. Square Enix was pretty uneventful to me. Not a lot of content, to be honest, from that thing, minus this. Which is
they had
fine.
Matt Mercer. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Matt Mercer is great. But Guardians of the Galaxy is a single player adventure, right? It's not, you're not going to be doing any of the Marvel's Avengers games that just came out. So part of me thinks that Square Enix or this game is going to probably serve better scores because of the focus on single player. You know what I mean? I don't have to be Iron Man. I don't have to be Captain America. I don't have to be this. I'm literally Star-Lord. The one thing I don't like is you're commanding everybody else. I want a chance to play as those other people, right? Even if it is single player, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to play as Groot so bad. Like you have no idea.
Let me be a rocket and bounce around. All I want to do.
So I would love to play it. I won't buy it. I probably won't buy it. And voice acting or artistic style, whatever you want to call it. I could not stand Surfer Bro Star-Lord.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember the trailer.
Really bad.
If you get a chance, go back and watch it. Let me know what you guys think. In the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or if anybody in live chat watched it or seen it. I could not stand Bro Surfer Star-Lord. Couldn't handle it. But I do want to try it. I just don't know whenever I will do that. You know what I mean? That's one of the.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't like it.
Right. It completely. Granted, it's that weird thing where when you just like Marvel's Avengers, the video game, when you don't use the people, and I know that's going to be extremely expensive, and it's a different universe, and I get it, but like.
You got to end the paycheck sometimes.
Yeah, right. You know? And I fucking we grew up with these people kind of to an extent. The past 10 years of all the Marvel movies that we saw and all the games come out, but
you can't have Iron Man without Robert Downey Jr. and that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand.
So it's also a little bit of a DMCA issue. You can't use their likeness without paying them. You know.
Right, and that's what I was saying is I understand why they didn't, but it's one of those things where it's still weird to disconnect the character from. Chris Pratt, right? That's just it's hard to do.
It's even more true with Avengers or with Marvel, anything, because if it was like a movie, like back in the day when we were kids and they were making this movie came out, what's the movie? I can't think of one off the top of my head, but this movie came out and we're gonna make a game out of it. Like you basically just play through the game of the movie essentially. And for that they couldn't use the likeness. They could use likenesses of people because a lot of times they wrote into deals you're giving likeness to the movie and for any games or whatever come after it. But to do that with something like this, where every movie Robert Downey Jr.'s paycheck goes up, $10 million. It's not like, hey, we gave him $20 million for the movie, we'll give him $3 million for the game. It's, hey, we gave him $140 million for the movie, now we got to give him $50 million for the game. You know what I mean? It's what's the fucking point?
All the percentages go way up. For sure.
Yeah. So this game now costs $200 to buy.
And this is a beautiful, beautiful segue to probably the biggest laugh I got out of all of E3. And that was Ubisoft, and they're at the end of their conference, they're like, we have one more thing. And it was a motherfucking Avatar game. Hear me out. I enjoyed Avatar when it first came out. Granted,
who didn't?
Enjoyed, didn't love it like everybody else did.
It was a movie.
It came out in 2009, and they're making a new video game now.
They're making 4 movies, dude. What do you mean?
I get it, but those aren't. Where's this? Don't get me started on the second one.
I agree with you. There's no reason.
I'm gonna be retired when the 4th one comes out. Right, I'll be done and retired, and I can go watch it whenever I please. Because, if movie theaters are a thing, I might have to watch it on a streaming service.
You seen AMC stock? That'll be a thing. It'll be fine.
I was excited until I saw the Avatar Pandora and just everything. When I saw that, I had a deep gut laugh, right? I don't hate it. I think it's going to be great. I think they're going to do a fantastic job, but it was not exciting, right? It wasn't exciting at all. The announcement itself was kind of meh. You didn't get to see, I don't think you got to see gameplay.
Game you can reskin with anything, dude. Who cares? It's Avatar. Nobody cares. It's an open world game. Who cares?
Exactly right. Right. It's a weird partnership, I think, in a weird time. They did come out with, that's what I was trying to get at, is they came out with an Avatar movie game when the movie came out, and that's kind of what you were touching on. So it was a beautiful segue. But
it's so stupid.
I was just like, okay. You know, I was like, okay.
Nobody left that. If it was live, nobody. The crowd would have been like, if it was live, it wouldn't have been the crowd going, "Yay!" It would have been like,
yeah, I'm like, oh, cool, Avatar. Yeah, woo! I haven't seen Avatar for 12 years, right? So
my cousin worked on that game. Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my son
in the background.
Yeah,
that's my son.
My great grandfather worked on that movie. So
4 years.
Yeah. I just want to. I'm sure, like I said, Ubisoft's very talented. I don't remember the actual company which developer is taking it over, but I know it'll be well done. They're going to do fine. It was just one of those like, oh, and we have one more thing for another exciting universe, and I'm like, Avatar, and that seemed to be the general consensus of everybody online that made the same thing too.
I'm also concerned with Avatar because there's a lot of verticality in Avatar, considering climbing trees, vines, swinging, flying the drakes or whatever.
Right.
And I also know Ubisoft games and how glitchy they always are when they first come out. So I can't wait to see all the glitches that happen in Avatar when it comes out. So Cyberpunk's about to get dethroned, in my opinion. But
we'll see.
So
God
we'll see.
damn, those bugs will be fantastic.
So terrible.
Next was something quick we'll just touch on, was the Smash Brothers DLC character revealed. I was kind of excited about it. Granted, I'm excited just because I love the Tekken video games and fighting games. It's Kazuya from Tekken, which is kind of cool to see him in there. The trailer was fantastic. If you guys get a chance, check that out. God damn it, was it funny. If you understand Tekken, the whole throwing people off a cliff, that was a main part of the story, with his father doing it to him, blah, blah, blah. So that was really cool to see that with them.
I really appreciated, even though I didn't agree with the memes that came out of Nintendo's face being over it and them kicking everybody else from E3 off the cliff. Those memes were funny.
Yes.
I don't agree with it, but they were hilarious.
It's absolutely beautiful. So if you guys get a chance, check out that trailer. It was very, very well done. Next was something I'm very excited for. It's a game I've grown up with kind of ever since I started playing video games. Was Halo Infinite's multiplayer deep dive that they did. Was really, really cool. Didn't touch on a ton of the story. I think this time they're going to go like they should, Master Chief focused, Cortana, as a main piece of the story, as it should be. 5 was a little bit of a misstep for me. I still enjoyed it very much. I still had fun. It's still the Halo universe. But the multiplayer looks fantastic. It's one of my favorites, but there is a lot of competition, especially with the way the Battlefield 2042 looked.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's going to be fucking insane.
It's interesting to see how Halo does modern times too.
Right.
Like in modern day.
Yes. Well, the multiplayer has always been pretty fantastic. I mean, 5, they have sprint. So it's not just your, Halo 2 and 3 where you're walking the entire time.
Right.
But also people play those two shooters for two totally different reasons.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think 100%. It's kind of apples and oranges.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's still two games that have lost the mainstream, if you will. Now it's Call of Duty, Apex, Fortnite.
Yeah, true.
Warzone, whatever. You know what I mean? Now it's those games that kind of just stick out, but those are all BRs. So who knows how actual classic multiplayer will do. But I think their attempt to get more people in is they made Halo Infinite's multiplayer free to play for everybody, regardless of the game or not. So
that's on Game Pass, we're saying.
Awesome Game Pass. But I guess Game Pass, and it's weird because Game Pass is just going to be the campaign, but free to play multiplayer for everybody, regardless if you have gold or anything, which is cool. I like it. I know Hermes was a little hesitant about it. Hermes, why so?
It feels like it cheapens the experience. Like everybody could be good at that game. Like if you go in Fortnite now, everybody's crack at Fortnite. Everybody's building giant things and all of that.
Yeah.
It's a game that if you make a game free to play, that allows people to sweat it. That means you're going to have a ton of people in your game 24/7.
Right.
I think that's
which
a
is
good thing, though.
what they're going. Yeah, that's what they're going for. And I know what you mean. You're talking about the difficulty level between or skill based.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I would hope for some skill-based matchmaking in Halo.
Right.
Always has
sure.
been. Always has been in
Yeah.
ranked for sure.
And I can't imagine there wouldn't be like just. I mean, Apex is kind of a bad example for like a casual play, but ranked definitely has skill-based matchmaking.
Right.
But with the casual play, I mean, it can be kind of up in the air. But most of the games have gone free to play now because, I mean, if Apex was pay to play, I don't know that I'd even be playing it because I wouldn't have bought it. I don't think. So I've been exposed to it as much, and I would not have bought Warzone. I can tell you that much.
Right.
Okay.
And I would never even like dabble in Fortnite at all because I would think the building aspect of it is just impossible. And I think that making it free to play really and they still make money off of it because of the in-app purchases and stuff, and also getting you to buy Game Pass and getting you to buy the game itself and blah blah blah. But I think that if I played Apex and there weren't, it wasn't free to play, the queue times would be so much slower and I wouldn't play it because I'm like, man, I'm waiting 5 minutes. Like DBD is on Game Pass, but it like the queue time for DBD is like 10 minutes.
Oh,
so, like,
shit.
I literally have like a Game Boy Advance game pulled up like while I'm waiting. Like, yeah, I'm waiting for a game. What's up? Just playing the game. All right, cool. Back in the game. You know what I mean? Like I'm just doing something else entirely because I don't want to wait 10 minutes to play a game.
That game was very, very popular too.
It is, but it's also so apparently if you play Survivors at night, you get a long wait time, and if you play Killer during the day, you get a long wait time. Just based on popularity, because killers are popular at nighttime, based on time zones for the U.S. and survivors aren't as much.
Okay, I got you. Weird. But yeah, I think free to play is a good choice. I think 5 is. I think Halo in general, the multiplayer has kind of lost its popularity, and this hopefully will help it. I think they're doing a lot of new stuff too for Halo. I think a BR would be really, really cool in the future. I think Halo is designed for it almost perfectly. So I think Halo eventually will get a BR. Who knows when? But we'll see. Hopefully that'll be fun.
I'm sure they'll be with a free to play multiplayer. Who says they don't update this to have a BR aspect to it?
My hot take is Halo Infinite's going to be the last actual Halo multiplayer game for a long time. That's my hot take. Is that Halo Infinite literally is its name, and it stays updated and gets updated just like Warzone, just like Apex, different seasons, and it just keeps going. And then you can buy the campaign. You know what I mean? You can buy the campaign if you want. Maybe it won't be 60, maybe it'll be 40. Who knows? But I think that's how they go.
Yeah, making it infinite, going like you said, going on and on for infinity is it's definitely doable. You can Hermes is saying add more things, like add the battle royale. I mean, Apex added the arena mode recently. I mean, adding more maps is always going to be a big thing to pull people into. So I think, you can add maps for multiplayer, battle royale, and arena kind of things, and it'll bring players back to the game forever. So
exactly, and I think that'll be a huge deal. I think it'd be very smart, right? Keep it free to play, update it as much as you can, put out some story stuff, and then go from there. Next, we have Mario Rabbids sequel announced. Crit, gush about it, dude. Let's go. And while you do that, I'm gonna go get a drink. So go ahead and take the floor.
I don't care what you have to say. So
I didn't do it right. Right. I'll just be back. I don't give a shit.
Share stream. So if you guys have a Switch, or anybody you know has a Switch, and you don't have Mario and Rabbids, you're doing it wrong. If you like tactical games, anything like XCOM or I'm thinking of if you liked that game. Well, again, it's a remake for Switch, Advanced Wars. If you like anything that's turn-based tactical shooter games and you're not getting Mario and Rabbids, you're wasting your time. Mario and Rabbids is as somebody who has played a lot of tactical shooter games like that, Mario and Rabbids is probably the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, in terms of those kinds of games, because it's so tactically involved. There's so much nuance to the choices you have to make. There's so much customization you can do. It's just it's literally probably I'd say in the top three, tactical turn-based shooters I've ever played in my life. And I'd say it's even better than XCOM.
It's a shooter.
Yeah, it's a shooter. It's a shooter game.
I haven't seen the trailer. I know nothing of this game.
Yeah, Mario and Rabbids. So Mario and Rabbids, the concept of Mario and Rabbids is you got Mario, Luigi, Peach, the usual crew, whatever. And in Mario and Rabbids One Kingdom Battle, you have a Rabbid from Raving Rabbids who comes over and basically gets into the game that this guy is designing, which is a Mario game, and glitches into it and brings like this headset into it. And he's causing a bunch of like Rabbid mayhem in the Mario Kingdom and or the Mushroom Kingdom, whatever. And you have a crossover of you have Mario Rabbid, which or Rabbid Mario, you have Rabbid Peach, you have Rabbid Luigi, which are just comical looking Rabbid versions of their counterparts in the universe. And they all have each character in the game that you'll discover and unlock over time has different abilities, has different weapons they choose from. Like Mario's a pistol shooter with a big hammer for melee weapons. Peach is a healer. Luigi is a sniper. And his secondary is like a tank kind of thing like a robot that follows enemies around and blows up in their face after a certain number of turns. And Rabbid Mario is the shotgun guy. So there's you make a team of 3 people, and there's a bunch of different levels per world that you have to go through. Most of the time, it's defeat the enemies. Sometimes it's get to the end of the map. Sometimes it's escort Toad to the end of the map, what have you. And yeah, you have to do all these things, but it's so well designed, and there's so much interplay between the characters and their abilities that you can use together that really works so well that it's not just a matter of, oh, I just pop in the game and it's Mario, it's easy, you know what I mean? I just, the second boss of that game, I legitimately took me about 7 or 8 tries to get through because it was so I was like, why am I not winning?
Gotcha.
So I had to change out my team and change out my abilities and stuff and change the skill trees, because it lets you upgrade your skills for each character, but then you can wipe the tree completely and do it all over again and have a new build for Luigi if you want, or Mario or whatever. So it's very in depth, and having a second one is going to be great. We'll probably get Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. We'll probably get I think we're getting Waluigi or Wario in there. I think so.
I'm currently watching the trailer. This looks cool.
It's good. It's a good game. And I mean, it's like I said, it's not just shoot your turn, you shoot my turn. There's cover based systems. There's elemental based systems, like you're on fire, you're being bounced away. I mean, just to give you an example, like Mario and Luigi both have Hero Shot, which is an ability that's a activated thing that says if an enemy in my line of sight moves before my next turn, I get a free shot on them. And then you take something like Luigi, who has like a bounce rifle he can use, and basically he turns on Hero Shot for himself. Mario has it on too. Go to Luigi, shoot an enemy, a big one, like a tough enemy. He bounces back into the air because it's a critical hit or whatever, and the bounce effect happens. And now Mario and Luigi both get free Hero Shot attacks on him. So it's like you're combining both their abilities together to really take out a tough enemy in one turn. So it's cool. Really good.
The best way to explain it to you, Hermes, is when you're fighting in Divinity.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you're fighting, when you're against people and you stand behind a box because they can no longer see you, you have to use different abilities and different moves to get to them and do that kind of stuff. So that's exactly, I think the best way to explain it to you would be that way.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, and even with that, like Beach is saying, behind the box to getting cover, because the cover can be a lot of times can be destroyed. Like it's like bricks can be destroyed, but like metal boxes can't, so you're safe. So maybe you like some of the rabbits have like grenades they lob over the box to get to you or whatever. So it's very cool. You can use your teammates to like bounce off of, and even like Rabbid Luigi, I believe it is, has an ability where he does more damage if he bounces on an enemy's head from a bounce from his friend. So if he bounces from here and then onto the enemy, he does like 40 damage to them, which is a lot. So it really changes the team dynamic each time you change characters. So it's a great game. It's very good.
Good.
Very excited.
Another one here.
$15 for the first one. $15. Get it.
That's not bad. For how long do you think?
I have to buy a Switch first.
Yeah, true.
So $315, Hermes. That's it.
It's probably about 20 to 30 hours of gameplay, I would say.
That's not bad. Still worth it.
Wow. $15 not bad at all. $15. Yeah.
Moving on, we do have a something that was announced at the end of the Xbox conference was the Dishonored devs, which is Arcane Studios. It's a vampire shooter, Redfall, revealed as an Xbox PC exclusive. Didn't see a whole lot. You kind of get the idea. It's class-based shooter, right? That's just what it is. Arcane makes fantastic video games. Dishonored, Prey, to name a few. So Redfall will be something different, I think. It's up to 4-player co-op. The trailer was really, really cool. It was really fun. It was a good time. Didn't, like I said, not a whole lot of gameplay, but the CG trailer kind of leads to how the game will play, right? It just depends on their art style and what it looks like.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit on saying that we didn't see much of it, right? Just because I think that the CG trailer, they did really well, and they basically told us without telling us that we're going to get a Left 4 Dead shooter like type game with vampires, and each character is going to have their own special ability.
Right. And what I'm saying is you don't know how it's going to play yet, is what I'm saying.
Like
you don't know if it's we don't know if it's first person, we don't know if it's third person, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I could love the trailer and the direction they're going. That's going to be great. You know what game I actually loved and I liked the trailers, the CG trailers, was Evolve, and we all know what happened to that. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything what you thought you were going to get, right? Just my whole thing. So it also Siege was a huge issue with this, right?
Yeah.
So
Siege is gone from what it was announced. That is nothing the game that we have now.
Yeah, I love going back and comparing. It's so good. But Redfall does look fun. It looks like a perfect game that I'm going to enjoy playing with community or with you guys or whoever. I'm assuming cross-play because it's Xbox and PC. They seem to be doing very, very well with that. Moving on, though, because we got a bunch to go through. Borderlands spinoff Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was announced, which
I'm excited for this as well.
Yes, this looks okay. Look, the trailer was fantastic. Obviously, Tiny Tina, we all know who she is. We all know what she can do and her character, and it's hilarious. But it's not what we heard was it isn't going to be your typical first-person shooter. There's going to be casting spells. There's going to be other forms of just other forms, right, of actually doing combat and things like that. So I think it's gonna be more fantasy based, and I know it's off of the kind of a Dungeons and Dragons kind of things. I love
though that they coined it as bunkers and badasses.
Yes.
That's
yes.
So good.
Yeah. So you're gonna stick with your 4-player co-op, 4-player co-op world. Supporting cast includes Will Arnett, Andy Samberg, and Wanda Sykes. Why didn't I know that until right now?
Yeah, the voice acting for it's amazing.
Oh, Andy Samberg.
They've got such a good lineup.
What's the Andy Samberg show that just ended with Terry Crews?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's not over yet, but yeah, it will be.
Okay, well, it's like the last season or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like got something to do. You know what I mean? Like in the video games.
I love that show too. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is so good. Moving on past that, I think we're all pretty excited. Borderlands is good. As much as I hate, what's his name? Randy Pitchford. He's a big tool, but that's okay. Moving on, Forza Horizon 5 was announced and dated, coming out for November 9th. The Horizon series is more of the arcade version of racing, which is kind of cool. A lot of fun there. Hello, Michaela. What's going on, Aqua? How are you? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. So yeah, Forza Horizon 5 going to be your open world racing game with all kinds of certain collectibles throughout the world, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the setting is gorgeous. Mexico will be really, really fun. I thought it was going to be Japan. I honestly thought it was going to be Japan.
Yeah, I got to echo that.
Oni-chan. So I thought it was going to be in Japan, but it's not going to be in Japan, which is okay. It's not a big deal. Hopefully 6 will be in Japan. That'll be really, really cool. Let's see here. Are you guys big Forza or racing game fans outside of like maybe more arcade based? Maybe like Burnout? Yeah, Burnout. Okay, got you. I understand.
I like the Horizon series. I'm not a big motorsport fan.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going off Horizon games.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. I'll get a Forza or whatever on Game Pass and play it for a night, and then kind of like uninstall it at that point. Like, oh, this is fun.
Right.
My fix for racing games.
Yeah. It's my one car guy. I'm not a huge car guy, and I like car games, but like Burnout was really, really fun. I think Split Second is one of the greatest racing games ever made.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
But
If we
maybe
can just be real though, the best racing game of all time, if we're being real, is the PS2 Pimp My Ride.
oh, let's go. Hell yes, dude. With Exhibit, dude.
Yeah,
oh man.
Because you know why? Because after you pimp the ride, it's like, oh, I like the DJ and I like the grill. Does he get a DJ booth in the back of his car, or does he get a working flaming grill?
It's got to be a grill. Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, but what you got to do is you got to go down the strip and you got to ghost ride the whip and show it off and press square and circle and triangle at the right time. Why don't you roll? Oh man, I fumbled. Oh no, my street rep's going down. What do I do? Exhibit comes in. Just pimp your ride. We're done. Let's get out of here. On to the next one.
My young age is showing, and I've got no clue what you guys are talking about.
Dude, It was the greatest show of all time.
It was a TV show on MTV called Pimp My Ride, where Exhibit, who is a rapper, actually took people's shitty shitmobiles and rebuilt them, but put the most insane shit in them.
Ridiculous things.
Like you open the trunk, like he just said, and there was a grill, like an actual working grill that you could use. Or I think I saw one with like a pop machine, like a fountain pop machine was in one of them. A lot of stupid stuff in the front. They're like, oh, this is cool. And you're like, you're like, oh, that would be nice to have for a day. You know what I mean? And then you got to refill it. You have to do all this stuff. You have to maintain it. It's like, this is not fun ananymore.
There's legitimately an episode where he gets a car and like and separates the front and the back, so there is no front to back. Like you can't go behind you. And he's like, you know, you guys love the beach, you know, the spa, love the pool. Got you a hot tub in the back seat. And it was like, what do you mean? And you open the door, and there's literally like a window of water you have to crawl through, and a sunroof over the back seat that you get into it. And so check it out. You know, we did even more. Watch, pop that sunroof up. Hydraulics, water splashing out of the car. But it's so heavy, so it's like bam, bam, and it's like, who needs this?
Yes, exactly.
Please don't pee in my car.
God, dude, so good. Another one that was announced was the Outer Worlds 2. I don't know if you guys have played it. I know Hermes has played it. I've played it. Outer Worlds was fantastic. It's a short little game, 15 hours if you wanted to push through the main story. So it was kind of cool, nice. It was by the people who made, I think this is Obsidian, who makes, usually always makes large RPGs, right? That's kind of
Grounded.
Right. And Grounded currently, yes. Grounded is one of their most recent releases.
Made Fallout 3 originally, didn't they? Or Fallout New Vegas?
New Vegas is they're behind that, which is regarded
like,
as one of the
Fallout. Here's Fallout again.
Right, yeah, which you could tell by the assets. You could tell that's what they definitely went that direction.
Outer Worlds definitely New Vegas in space type feel.
Did you hate Fallout 4? Come play Outer Worlds.
Oh yeah, I never finished Fallout 4, and I'm a huge Fallout fan. But their trailer was beautiful. I don't know if it was like, it was so aware of itself.
The trailer we never got.
It was so aware of itself. It was fantastic. They basically were like, hey, we haven't really even worked on this game. We know the title. Here it is. We're working on it. It's coming out soon, sometime. You know what I mean? That's what they did. And it was so good. So good. If you get a chance, definitely watch it. Go ahead.
I do hope for the Outer Worlds 2 that every NPC is killable like last time, because God, are those runs fun where you just put a barrel to everybody's face.
Well, not everybody
it complicates the game so much, but it's so funny to do.
I hope Parvati comes back, because she's one hell of a side character, right? Or an NPC that you're a companion. Sorry, that's what I was looking for.
Crit, for you, all the NPCs in Outer Worlds, they're killable. None of them are essential.
Oh, nice. I like that. Yeah. That's fun. Like you play Skyrim, and it's like, I want to kill everybody in town. And it's like, oh, he just won't die. Like, damn it, die. Just die already. Die.
I have frustrations. Rainbow Six Extraction, recently known as Rainbow Six Quarantine. Obviously, for obvious reasons, they changed the name.
Enough.
Going to take a lot of the Rainbow Six Siege, all of the operators, I'm pretty sure, all of the play styles and everything from it, and insert you into a PvE game.
That's cool.
Which is going to be fun. A lot of the operators are going to have. What's cool about this trailer and gameplay is that it's it shows a lot of the operators using their gadgets from the original Siege game, right? So that's kind of cool how it's going to help you, how you can use it to help your teammates, blah blah blah. But if you go down with an operator and you don't actually extract with one of them, or they go down and get taken, you can't use them until you do a rescue mission for them, which is really kind of cool. So I like that aspect.
That's dope. It's kind of the Legion-esque.
Right.
A little bit further than Watch Dogs Legion went.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I do dig that.
So that'll be fun. There's not much to really say on, talk about it, just because it is pretty much, my assumption would be Siege with PvE. But it looks good.
Played it before, because Siege with PvE has been a thing before.
It was a mode. It was a slight mode. It was called like Parasite or something like that, I believe.
I think it was something weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a mode.
Siege heads in chat, if anybody remembers.
It was definitely a mode that they had in Siege that was a limited time event, which was a lot. It was actually a lot of fun. But yeah, it should be a good time. Next, we have Sea of Thieves getting a Pirates of the Caribbean crossover, which seems like a long time coming, right? Like, does it not seem like it's like, where has this been, kind of a thing? But
I can tell you where it's been.
Okay,
it's been in development since day one. They've been working on this for a very long time.
I wonder if they were like, you have to reach a certain amount of like success for you to greenlight it, right?
I'm sure. Yeah, because it's Disney, and Disney is stingy with everything,
right?
But
if you don't know, Captain Jack Sparrow is in Sea of Thieves, or going to be in Sea of Thieves, I think rather soon. I think it comes out the 22nd of June, so that's going to be kind of neat.
Yep. Same day that Mario Golf comes out.
Let's go Mario Golf. So I guess it's an all new original story.
So it looks like it's going to take place in the Sea of the Damned, which is, so essentially what it looks like is, in the trailer, you are doing something on the Dutchman's, like the ferryman's ship, which means you have to essentially die to get to this. And so it'll be interesting to see. They've confirmed that there is going to be a new tent on all islands, where you have like the gold hoarders and you have the Order of Souls, and like they give you different quests. Now they're going to have a tent where Jack will give you the quest, and we're not sure this is like a Tall Tales quest tent all the time, or it'll be like a event tent all the time, or what have you, and whatever's the new thing at the time. But Jack will be there to give you the quest, and you need to go to like the Dutchman's ferryman's boat and do this and that. But all the scenes from the game appear to be happening in the Sea of the Damned, because it's got that green tint to it, and it's got like a whole town they're going to, looks like. And the thing that most excites me is that we're going to have enemies that board your ship in this story. Doesn't appear to be in the main game, but in this story there will be enemies that board your ship, like the crustacean people and the fish people and all that, which what Sea of Thieves always does is they test things out essentially before they put them into the main game. So being able to have this in the story means that in the future we could eventually have people that board your ship in the main game.
Cool.
Because you never have the risk of that in the main game. No matter what you run into besides other players, there's never anybody boarding your ship. Skeletons come to your ship and just stop, and you're good. Gotcha. So it's never a big problem. So that'd be a nice twist to add to the game. So
the game is just it. I kind of love these. Sea of Thieves, when it first came out, I tried it, I played it, and I was like, okay, I get it. But I never felt like I needed to come back to it. Every single time a piece of like announcement or something comes out, I'm like, holy shit, I need to get back into that, but I don't, because there's so many other games, and now I feel like I'm so far behind. You know what I mean?
Big draw.
But it doesn't keep me from rooting for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. I want to see this community grow. I want to see new players fall in love with it. But for me, it's from afar.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling about Grounded too before I jumped into it recently. And that's just because the Shroom and Doom update, I was like, okay, there's been enough that's going on. This is probably more of a full game now,
right?
Since Beach You and I played it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Jumping back into that, it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and Sea is that kind of game where, and it really benefits in the sense that they do monthly updates for it, and they do I think like quarterly big updates for it, and they because of the fact that Sea of Thieves has no like skill tree or like better weapons upgrades and all, it's just all cosmetics. being in the like if you've been out for a year, you don't miss anything. Like you're not behind other people. Besides in the level of like, I'm not as good of a shot in the cannon as they are because I haven't been playing in a year. But that's about it. And that's the big thing about Sea of Thieves is that if you are enticed to come back, you're not far behind.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the only thing about it is that you come back and you say, oh man, what is this? Like, what's this thing over here? Oh, it's a new kind of fort they have. Like, oh, it's a new chest you can find in the world. And it's like, whoa, I didn't know that. And at that point, it's less of a detriment to you coming back and more of a, whoa, that's a cool new thing I haven't seen before. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the magic of a game like this. Because when it first came out, it was very much like make your own fun. There's not a lot going on. It's very much the same stuff. But now they have a lot more going on. And even the ship combat from PvP has been evolved so well that it's a much bigger and more interesting thing to deal with. So I'm very excited. I'm also we saw the face of the Kraken, which is kind of cool. So like, can you get in the water and see the Kraken now? That's what I want to know.
Oh, okay, got you. That'd be sick.
That'll be very cool.
That would be really cool.
Can I stab it? I want to stab the Kraken.
Walk up and like poke.
Yeah. Can I? That's Caribbean too.
That'd be really neat. So yeah, Sea of Thieves continues to pump out, I think, content after content, which is really good.
One more thing, and we're getting Mr. Gibbs, not just Jack Sparrow, which is fantastic.
That's true. That's true.
All right, I'm going to go grab a drink, and I'll be back.
You got it, my man. Another game they announced. This little recap seems to be Xbox heavy, but it is Contraband. Just Cause devs announced a new game called Contraband. You didn't get to see anything but a still framed trailer,
right?
Explained as a co-op smuggler's paradise set in a fictional world in the 1970s. So that'll be kind of cool, but it is open world. Yeah. So we'll see. You know how insane Just Cause is, so I'm kind of curious to see if they kind of keep that, that aesthetic, but it's just more people running around, which will be insane to say the least, I think. But
just imagine like grappling onto a plane. Get off my plane!
Right,
Get off my plane!
Exactly. right. So I just I don't know. We'll see what comes to that, but it is, like I said, just was just a trailer, no gameplay or anything like that. Flight Simulator. You looking forward to Flight Simulator? Probably gonna maybe try it.
I'm looking forward. I have it on PC. I mean, it's downloaded on PC, but the controls are very. I got it. I skipped the tutorial for Flight Simulator, which is probably a bad idea. And then I went into it, and I was like, "What am I doing? I don't know what to do."
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's the meme. That's the meme explained. Yeah, see, that's the meme in full effect right there. Right? Yeah. You're like, I don't want to. Tutorial, no. But how do I do this?
Yeah, I want to do it. I want to play the game, but I'm like, I tried all the intuitive, like, I'll just try all the different things I think would work, and they didn't work. And I was like, how hard is this game if I can't like easily fly this plane?
Right.
I'm not a pilot. I'm not a pilot. What do I do, dude? I couldn't even figure out how to get third person mode on. I was like, I'm in the cockpit. I can't see shit though.
Pressing all the buttons. Yeah, pressing all the buttons, right?
Everything.
So it'll be kind of cool. I think a cool expansion was the fact that they added Top Gun. Like they're adding Top Gun to it, which will be neat. Just as I'm sure the new movie coming out with Maverick and all that kind of junk.
Blow the cities up? Can I like shoot the cities and make bombs and stuff?
I don't think so. I think when you hit, you would know. You probably crashed when you hit the ground. Does it blow up or does it just kind of fall apart?
It just ends the game. Yeah, ends the simulator.
It just
it's done. Failed.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably the way it needs to be.
That's my house down there.
That's my house, dude. Simulator failed. Okay.
Take that, Dad.
I got you, you bitch.
Ground me again.
So another announcement was the for all the PC owners, they had Hades for the past year, I think. 2020 Game of the Year. Hades coming to Xbox and PlayStation. I think that is dated for August 13th. So that's kind of cool. Also launching on Game Pass, which is kind of insane to think about, but very, 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 very cool.
Also, can I say that I didn't know Switch had it like this entire time?
It's a good game for Switch too, honestly.
What, Hades?
It's designed for
Hades.
Yeah, it was a PC and Switch.
They did that. It's not a mouse and keyboard kind of game. Usually, it's a controller kind of game, and being able to do a run on the go is nice.
Right.
So,
I think that'd be really, really nice to do there.
Put it to sleep. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I'm done a level. I can put it to sleep. Go do something. Come back to this, and that's nice.
For sure. I think the last couple ones here, this one just says Xbox Game Pass gets even better. I know the entire show for Microsoft was heavily, yes, they had 30 titles they shown, 27 of them were coming to Game Pass day one, which was fucking bonkers when you actually go through the list. So that was kind of insane. One game I'm very, very, very excited about that we got to see more of, and it's coming to Game Pass, was Atomic Heart, which I call the Russian BioShock. Which is I'm very excited about. I can't wait to play the fucking game. I've seen so much of it. I just want to play the fucking thing. Moving on past there, Far Cry DLC they announced outside of just all the stuff is for the first time ever you get to play as the infamous villains in the DLC, which will be fun because they have some of the most memorable villains to me personally. I think Far Cry 3 with Voss is just, and you know, do you know the definition of insanity and all that stuff, and just the entire game is my favorite. But then Joseph with 5 is so good, and then even Pagan from 4 with, you know, the legend himself, Troy Baker voicing Pagan. Just
I can't hear Troy Baker and not think of High School Musical. I just imagine Zac Efron voicing this character.
Why?
Sorry.
Yeah, why?
His name in High School Musical is Troy Baker. And Troy Baker was the name of his character in High
Troy
School
Burton.
Musical.
Now
No,
your
it's Troy
age is
Baker.
showing. Burton.
Is Troy Burton? No way.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Really?
I hope so, because you were gonna
Pretty
ruin
sure.
it.
Okay.
You're gonna ruin it for me. Let's see here. So after that, but yeah, Far Cry's DLC, that's gonna be kind of fun. We'll see what they do with that. I like, because Far Cry's DLC has never really been consistent with the story that it releases with. This allows you to
Bolton,
play.
We're both wrong.
It's what is
What's his
it?
name?
Bolton. It's Troy Bolton.
Bolton. Jesus Christ. Come on, guys.
Kinda-
Get your High School
some
Musical
kinda-
shit together, okay?
Some kind of Val Baker Burton.
Split
Bolton,
screen
whatever.
went way off track for
Yeah,
a second.
We're
Get your head in
breaking
the game, man.
free.
Come on.
So yeah, it's exactly
Oh,
what we're
damn
doing.
it.
Babylon's Fall for PS5 version announced, new gameplay shown off. I wasn't entirely impressed, so that was cool. If you're into that, whatever. Game that my wife and I are very excited for, we never had a chance to play, was the Diablo 2 Resurrected. Got a release date and more gameplay shown off for that. Very, very excited to play Diablo 2. Coming out September 23rd, had a very gameplay heavy trailer that they came out with and announced, so that was really cool. Also announced that it's coming to Switch, so that's, I think, a perfect game for Switch. You know what I mean, to go on the go for something like that. So that was neat. Riders Republic, which looks fucking insane, and I wasn't really excited until I saw the most recent broadcast for it in the most recent trailer. Riders Republic is basically your extreme sports, your snowboarding, your mountain bikes, your wingsuits. I think that's about it. Maybe there's some other things in there, but it just looks fun. They have mass races, which is what they call them, and I don't know how many people was it.
Well, it's like Steep came out. I think was it Steep, the game that you could do like
Yes.
snowboarding, skiing, mountain jumping, and all that. And it was like, what is this game? It's literally just like it's free roam snowboarding.
It's just extreme sports. You do whatever you want. Go do your thing.
That's all we can. Like, who cares? Like, it's fine. It's a good
This
game
looks
for what
very
it is.
good.
Yeah, Riders Republic just
We don't
adds
need
kind
more
of
than
a weird, exciting, fun twist to it. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be
Yeah.
a good time there.
I'm jumping off mountains. What do I need, dude? I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm a
exactly.
squirrel
Yeah,
suit.
it's almost looks like a Skate 3 with multiple things you can do.
It's like Skate 3 and Steep had a child,
Yeah.
and then it was like,
Yeah.
and then added maybe a little bit of like wackiness, and then they were like, hey, here you go.
Right.
Here's fucking Riders Republic. Ubisoft
Mhm.
announced Rocksmith Plus subscription service.
Mhm.
I didn't really care because I don't really learn guitar. I never played the original Rocksmith.
I gave up when I was 14.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think it's
it's
a cool
cool for-
announcement. Yeah, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's cool for people in the music world. Anybody
Mhm.
wanting to pick up a guitar, they claim, I don't personally know, but they claim that it helps a lot of people learn. So I mean that's pretty big.
Right. And I think it's cool, just not for me, but I think it's an awesome announcement. Let's see here. Metroid Dread was announced, a new 2D Metroid game coming this October. Crit, as the resident Nintendo, maybe I guess representative for the split screen. I'm aware of stuff. I just don't
You really
I
are.
just don't heavily play it. You know what I mean?
I think, well, since we're on the subject, because I want to go over a couple of things from Nintendo, if that's okay.
Of course.
Let's talk about the the Direct, and because I know there were mixed feelings from people on this channel, but also just in general in the world, and I want to know, Hermes, why didn't you like the Direct, buddy? What
Okay,
just a
well,
comparison?
let me, yeah, in comparison to what
Mhm.
was already announced, right? And let me share my viewing experience and then my
Yeah.
social media experience. My viewing experience first was Nintendo Direct without audio because they didn't let streamers use audio. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, Nintendo did. Yeah, Nintendo's whole streaming situation that like is because those of you who don't know in chat, Nintendo basically said you cannot stream the live Nintendo Direct. It's not allowed. It's Twitch Direct, like Twitch can do it, but you guys can't do it. Twitch said no, we're not going to do it to stand in solidarity with the streamers. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Nintendo. That's bullshit. And there's literally no reason for Nintendo not to do that. Besides, we want to get the numbers from our viewers and see how we're doing directly from direct viewers. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but you just lost a bunch of viewers because no one's watching it.
Yeah.
And you're going to gain more from Twitch. I mean, people watch these things live with streamers, and they missed the mark on that. So
Yeah, and then
They've been doing this kind of shit though. They did this with YouTube for a long time. Any content that was theirs was they were just like, no, DMCA or
they're making mistakes,
copyright claim, whatever.
So first, that was my first issue. I mean, I rewatched right with audio the parts, and my second thing is as soon as it was over, everybody took to Twitter or whatever their social media platform of choice was and said Nintendo won E3. And I have to fully, wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think Summer Games Fest did, personally. But also, like, they had some announcements, yes, but a lot of it was stuff that we already knew was coming out. Like, it wasn't new stuff. It was stuff that had previously been said, this is coming out, like, and we might have saw new stuff
a lot of recycled content from earlier conferences.
And to hear that they won E3 when Game Pass just got even better and Summer Games Fest dropped Elden Ring, they did not win E3.
So,
they did not. I disagree.
I don't think, as someone who enjoyed the Direct, and the announcements at least, I didn't watch the full Direct. But as someone who enjoyed the announcements, I don't think Nintendo won E3, as people are saying. I can understand being devil's advocate. I can understand the idea of like, we got Elden Ring, and it's just like, yeah, but not everyone, and the mass appeal of Elden Ring isn't as great as the mass appeal of Breath of the Wild 2. So having two big games that get announced like that, from that are both anticipated, they've both been teased before, or like we know we're gonna get one, like we got a teaser for Elden Ring, we know we're gonna get Breath of the Wild 2 for sure, or another Zelda game. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's called Breath of the Wild 2 or it's just the same kind of thing as Zelda. We're gonna get another one. We knew that for a year or so. So it's fair to say, I think that like if we're using Elden Ring to say we won E3, then I think it's also fair that they can use Breath of the Wild to say they won it. But I agree that with Xbox's announcements and the huge expansion of Game Pass, I think that is the winner of E3. But it's just, there's always the camps, people who want to say that so and so won something, and then it's like, who cares about winning? It's just you did great, whatever.
It also made me a little curious that if everybody who was salty about like Bethesda going exclusive now was just like, yeah, they won because Xbox took Bethesda, like, I don't know.
Right.
Just I personally felt like super attacked.
Why exclusive? Yeah. So for me, I was very pleased with the Direct because there were a lot of games announced that Dragon Rabbids obviously was great. I've never been a big Metroidvania player. So seeing a new Metroid was cool. We haven't had a new Metroid in a while. But it wasn't something I was like, oh, you gotta play it. You know what I mean? But I definitely see the appeal of getting a new Metroid. And it looks like to some degree edgier. If I recall, one of the old Metroid games, like 2 or 3, was like an edgier version of Metroid, where it was like more like gruesome or something like that than the original 1 or 2 were. So maybe the dread aspect of it is going back towards that kind of thing.
Right.
So we'll see like more of like a not a dead space, obviously, but more like a scary space instead of just like, oh, I shoot the alien, he's dead, I'm done. I punch, the alien punches me and I'm gone. Oh, I'm dead. It's like, oh, the alien attacks me and tears my guts out, like that kind of thing.
Right.
So I think that's a big thing. One thing I'm very excited for. Cat is an asshole. One thing I'm very excited for is the announcement of Mario Party, a new Mario Party game.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be fixing a lot of the things that were wrong with Mario Party to begin with. And they're addressing a lot of the things in the trailer alone. They're saying, you know, we're first of all bringing you old maps from the GameCube and the 64 and all that like that when you return to old maps, anything Mario Kart, sports games, Mario Party, you're gonna be happy. Smash Bros are gonna be happy. The nostalgia of those maps and stuff. The fact that they're gonna have online support day one, which Mario Party for Switch did not have.
What fucking online?
Yeah, it didn't. It did not have online day one, which was a big disappointment. The fact that you can't play with like, and the other thing is when they put online out for Mario Party, it was only with your friends. It wasn't with random people, so you couldn't just go online and fill a group.
There's
up.
no like matchmaking.
No, it wasn't. They didn't have
Wow.
that. I'm not sure if they have it now, but they didn't have that when it first. And again, keep in mind that when the game was reviewed, when the game came out and was reviewed, it was like, let's talk about Mario Party Online. We can't. It's not here yet. And they had a single player off of the board game style thing where you could run through all the mini games like a challenge road or something, but it wasn't very difficult, and there was really no reason to go back to playing it. So Mario Party for the Switch originally was not very good. This seems to be addressing a lot of those problems. I like Mario Party. I think it's a good. Oh, also every single mini game required motion control from the Joy-Con, and I hate that. I hate when any Wii or Switch game comes out and they force you to like use the motion activation of it. And I'm like, can I just sit on my couch? I know it's like you want me to get active. Like, I'm not buying the Ring game. Okay, I'm just sitting here trying to chill on the couch, play some mini games, play Wario basically. But now we have Wario, which is great. And they want to say, you know, you're gonna go in the rapids, start rowing. And I'm like, can I just push A really fast? Like, is that okay? Like, can I just do that? And they didn't let you do that. So now you can, which is fantastic. So I think that between Breath of the Wild, Mario Party, the new Metroid game, Monkey Ball's coming out. People love Monkey Ball. I mean, I don't like Monkey Ball that much, but it's a fun little thing. I'd buy it for like $5 on sale.
WarioWare.
WarioWare, I'm very excited about. We haven't had a Wario game in a long time.
Okay. Say those again. All of them. What you just said to me.
Metroid, Breath of the Wild, Mario Party, WarioWare, Mario and Rabbids, and Monkey Ball.
0 new ideas. None of them are new ideas.
But like
that's and I know that, but that's why. How do you glorify a conference when they're just like, what do we have?
So we gotta
let's pull out. What do you have back here? Oh, Mario, Zelda, Super Monkey Ball. You know what I mean? Mario Party, Smash Brothers. It's like, when do you go? Hey, what idea did you come up with the other day that's brand new if nobody's ever thought of it? None of that.
They got fired. They're not here anymore.
I agree with you. So the fact that like if we're gonna
because we threw them off a cliff.
If this is the debate for of did Nintendo actually win E3, then we're not gonna have that debate because we're on the same page.
Well, okay.
We're on the same page though, because we agreed they didn't win E3. I think it's fair to say that Xbox as a whole.
I don't think anybody won E3.
But there is no real winner to me. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think it's just. I think it was an overall fine 4 or 5 days of games, and I think we got cool announcements across the board. Some that came out that I was.
Yeah, if I classify somebody as in somebody who won E3, and it's not a conference, it's not a company, it's the people who own Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like
Game Pass.
I also like Breezy's thing in chat. Games won E3.
Right, yeah, and a lot of these people worked really hard. I get it. I'm not here to say like, ooh, Nintendo's bad, or like, there was things I didn't like. There was things that I did like. But I think Game Pass is insane. If you own Game Pass, I don't know how you're unhappy. You know what I mean? Or I don't know if you're like, I get it. Sony is, you know, you've got your extremely loyal Sony fan base. You have an extremely loyal Xbox fan base. You have an extremely loyal PC as well as Nintendo. They're out there. I get it. It's your preference. There's nothing wrong with you choosing something. If you can't own all of them, people are very fortunate. I happen to be one of those that can have multiple systems. I have a Switch, I have a PS5, and I have an Xbox, and I have a PC. I'm covered, except Stadia. I can't play Stadia games, which gets me really upset at night. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm kidding. So it's hard for me. I hate to be, I don't even like to say that games are bad. Granted, there probably are bad games, but because somebody worked very hard at those things, in the heat of the moment, I'll say it's very bad, but that's just because I'm frustrated. I got killed. Like Apex has been bad.
I'll you a new one.
I said Apex has been a terrible game a lot. Warzone is almost terrible every single time I drop in.
Never won a game of Warzone in my life. Never.
Right. No, you did. You won with me and maybe not. Okay. So
never won a game in my life.
But my only issue with Nintendo is, are they playing it safe? We just got done telling that they don't have to do anything crazy. It's not broken.
No, absolutely. Yeah. They're the nostalgia console.
Well,
I absolutely think they're playing.
Right. So I don't, and I think that because of the way that Nintendo does their business model. So Nintendo has been focused on AAA first party games for years, right? And that's the big thing, is that they're focused on that. So being able to do that, you have the ability to put out, you know, a new game, like 3 or 4 new games a year. You're not putting out like Xbox. And look at the 360. Xbox put out hundreds of games on the 360. And how many games came to like the Nintendo consoles in those times? You know what I mean?
Right.
So the fact that PS2 had like 1,000 games, I think. So the fact that you have like these you know, sparsed out releases of quality games, you then have games that, hey, we haven't had an Advance Wars in a long time. We can make a whole remake of Advance Wars. People will love that shit, and they do. People were very happy with Advance Wars. I mean, people who are like, I'm like, if you made Final Fantasy Tactics for Switch, a remake of it, like the 1 and 2, it would be a big thing. And yeah, it's easy. I think it's fair to say that like they didn't make a new concept, but the thing is, Nintendo's really good about making new concepts in their first party games, though, because Breath of the Wild, again, going back to that, Breath of the Wild is a whole new concept in Zelda.
Yeah.
And they took it, Zelda, and did a whole new thing. I think there are some games that like Nintendo's also pretty well known for just saying, hey, you guys do the other concepts and bring them to us, and we'll put them on the Switch if they fit. Like Hades is a great game for the Switch. Does the PC, does my graphics card get the hype behind Hades existing? You know what I mean? It's just the fact that like it's a great game. It happens to be on PC, and they brought it to Switch. But Switch doesn't get love for bringing Hades over. You know what I mean? Halo Infinite came out, and it's like it's just going to be a shooter with battle royale and arena if we break it down to that level. You know what I mean? But it's a great game by itself, and it keeps working, and so they keep bringing it back. So I think, I mean, PlayStation's made new first party games in the last couple of years that are more theirs. It's like they moved away from like, you know, Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank so much. No, they're still in Ratchet and Clank, obviously, but and made, you know, God of War, Horizon, Spider-Man, that kind of thing is now their first party games. So they've made new games, but you bet your ass they're going to stick with those games for a long time to come.
Right. I'm not arguing to stay with them. I'm arguing the fact that like we didn't get anything. We haven't. I don't know what's the last thing you know what I mean? Like, what is the last thing that came out and they were like, this is new, right? We're announcing something new, not within a universe we've already had, but what is something new that we're creating? Right.
Splatoon.
That was
Splatoon did really good.
Splatoon.
Right. But
Splatoon
like,
did really good things.
And then that's proof. Like they have proof, right? That it's there and it works.
Right.
I'm not even saying that has to be exclusive. I'm just saying it's not even like nothing. It's recycled stuff. Halo does it. Halo does it. Xbox does it with the Gears of War. They do it with Halo. They do it with Forza. They do it with, you know, Halo has been almost the same way, with from Spartan Assault to Halo Wars to Halo Wars 2 to Halo ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Infinite coming out. So it's one of those things. I just can't. I can't.
But also, Splatoon has been the only thing. Splatoon came out in 2015. So we haven't seen anything new since 2015.
True. That's very, very true.
I think, I think one thing about Nintendo games compared to other games too, in my opinion, is that Nintendo does what a lot of games strives to do and people ask for a lot and they don't get, which is replayability. I mean, replayability is a big thing for Nintendo games, and at their goal, at their core. And I think that what you get with something like Nintendo is, again, Breath of the Wild has, I mean, I have 4 hours in that game. Then you have games when the Mario Party is done right, Mario Party is replayable very over and over, very much so, over and over again. Smash is the same way over and over again. Character Pass, they've got like what 20 characters they're releasing, and they can basically put a new character out once every couple of months. And if you like Smash, you go back to Smash. And if you didn't like Smash very much and you got rid of it, and it's like, man, I haven't been playing for a long time. I got rid of Smash like 2 years ago because I wasn't playing it very much online or with my friends or anything.
Right.
And then they announced Sephiroth, and I was like, I kind of want to buy Smash again. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to go back to this thing, get the character pass, because they can just do that. Animal Crossing, you know, envelop people's lives for a whole year. And I just recently
That's
stopped
going to be
playing
the
that
first thing
game.
I play when I do eventually get a Switch.
Right, and you'll dive into
Animal
it,
Crossing.
and you'll play it for a long time. You know what I mean? And it enveloped the whole world. I mean, it was I think it was the best-selling game on Switch besides Breath of the Wild, I think, or maybe better than Breath of the Wild, actually. I forget, but it sold consoles. It caused a sellout of consoles. So it's I don't know. I think it's they have a lot of things going for them in the sense that like they could keep making new IPs, but they have such good IP already, and there's so much that they can do with it. Mario is a great IP, and you can do a million things with Mario. You know what I mean? They do.
Yeah.
I wish they bring back, and I will say this: I wish there are things Nintendo would do that they don't do. They need to bring more sports games back, because Super Strikers, the baseball game, the tennis game that they didn't make this time around because it was trash. Like the Tennis Strikers game, those were all really good. Luigi's Mansion is getting, you know, games made after it still, which is really good. They did go back and repackage Mario Sunshine Galaxy, but they haven't made Galaxy 3. So there's like more things they could be making, but they just haven't done. But that's kind of like, as a Nintendo gamer, I don't really need anything new, because what they do with the things they already have. I mean, if you want, to be fair, Sim Universe is obviously a good example. We're not going to get any universe besides Splatoon, but with Mario and Rabbids is a very different game from what you get with a normal Mario game.
Right.
And they innovate within that universe. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I was surprised to hear that Mario had a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
You give him a gun? You can't do that.
He's Mario.
Yeah. He's Mario. He got nipples already. Jesus.
Yeah, come on. He just got his nipples and you gave him a gun. What the fuck?
He grows up so fast, dude. Alex, why over here can't get nipples.
That's the progression. First you get nipples, then you get the gun.
Nipples,
you know?
It's manhood. It's manhood.
You get nipples and you're good to go. By the way, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate sold 12 million units. Breath of the Wild just over 10 million.
Oh, okay.
A couple things here. So in all, the only issue I had, like I said, was the fact that I felt like it wasn't anything new. But you've got Sony pumping out new IPs. You've got Xbox at least pumping out new IPs. And maybe I'm missing the mark on Nintendo. Maybe it's me that I'm not actually causing, or I'm not looking for it, right? Maybe that's what it is, and they're not just catching my eye. But
you know something that I want to pull a comparison to from previous episodes. You've talked about the whole aging thing with Star Wars, and like people getting older and not liking the newer Star Wars films. Maybe it's a little bit of that, you know?
That's a very good where I'm no longer the market.
Yeah. And
I've moved on past it. That's not, I mean,
you're bored of Mario or Zelda or what have you. My
daughter loves them, right? And that could be, she's going to grow up and maybe she has a recollection of like, hey, I fucking played Mario with my dad. I love Mario. I'm going to keep playing Mario games until I make her play Xbox. I don't no, I'm just kidding.
But like that's the thing, is like when we were kids, Mario was marketed to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Mario can easily still be marketed to kids,
right?
In just new games.
Maybe
so
it
like,
is that.
Like Hermes is saying, it's like I don't need. I've seen this game a million times. It's like, yeah, but my kid hasn't. So like, they're not going to go back and play Super Mario Brothers 2 though. They're not going to do that because that game was like trash.
No,
let's make Nipple Mario, the low nipple Mario.
Yeah, Nipple Mario is going to sell like crazy. We got to get the Nipple Mario out there. Nipplegate. Fucking 2021.
Gotta have nipples in the plumber.
Since I know we're all big Souls fans, or Hermes, yes, you are. I think you've seen enough to be considered. Like you've watched a lot. right?
Yeah, from
So,
both of your guys' channels.
For me, Crit, Cap, you've caught a lot of Souls content. Even
my roommate's also a very large fan.
Right, and even Kip. I mean, Kip is still on the whole FromSoft kick that she's on, or that they are on. But so here's my thing about Final Fantasy Origin being classified as a Souls-like by the developers of Neo, Team Ninja, which the demo is out now. So if you guys want to give it a shot and you guys want to check it out, are you tired of hearing that Souls-like? Or are you, because I saw the argument from the demo that we saw. Actually, you know what? Let's just watch it.
The next time somebody says Souls-like, I'm gonna take a microphone.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can.
Oh, they can?
I'm gonna
You
take
fix
a
it?
microphone
Let's go.
and jam it in their face, down their throat, because I'm tired of hearing this.
Can I say, as somebody not in the ecosystem, it feels weird. Major audio glitch from chat.
What?
Are we good now, Breezy?
Should be good now. Hey, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead. We'll figure it out.
Okay. It from someone not in the Souls ecosystem, it feels weird to hear Souls-like from Neo, who already claims to be Souls-like and just didn't hit the mark. I
don't know if they were trying to.
They were definitely trying to. They came out saying that. They came out saying
you think
they
so?
were trying, when Neo came out. Yeah, when Neo came out, it was marketed as, because I saw Neo and I thought, oh, this would be cool. Because I literally thought for a long time before playing it that it was just like, oh, I want to play Dark Souls again. And there's another Dark Souls like game. It's like, oh, if you want Dark Souls, we'll go play Neo. But Neo is I watched you play Neo.
It's action heavy. It's not.
It's very action heavy. It's a third person action game. It's not a Dark Souls. It's not a Souls like game.
It's more like Devil May Cry.
Yeah, and you don't have to have like the exact gameplay style of Souls. I think, I mean, there are things like Hades, I will call a Souls-like game, but even still, it's kind of like a stretch. It's a roguelike. That's what it is. It's not a roguelike. It's not. Souls-like is very hard because by its nature, a Souls-like game, when you call something that, you're defining Souls by just the combat and just the gameplay of the game.
I think what they were going for was the difficulty. I think they saw, hey, this can be difficult. Guess what?
Because
you know what I mean?
Souls-like games are defined essentially, but my understanding is Souls-like games are defined by people saying it is combat that is difficult. It has a skill system, like a perk, like upgrading your health and your stamina and all that, your strength, and it is defined by finding the patterns of enemies is how you win the game, and that's what Souls really is.
Right,
it boils down to it, but it's not. That doesn't make a good game. You know what I mean? So it's a buzzword they use to sell games, honestly.
Yes. I had a lot of people say, and I read a lot of reactions to this, and it looked good, right? It looks fun. It's, hey, cool, you know, but like, you know, somebody said that like outside of the CG cutscenes that it looks like a PS3 game. Right?
It looks like
I was trying and I haven't watched it since. Like that right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like very empty.
It looks bad.
Right? That looks empty. Granted, let me check some settings. It is okay. Hold on, let me see what it looks like. Okay, didn't change a thing. But yeah, like even running through those stairs, that's not Souls. You know what I mean? That's Team Ninja being Team Ninja and making their game. Like, but like,
yeah,
does this not look and feel empty?
This does not feel like a fun game to me at all. I saw this game and I was so unimpressed with this game that I just like muted the whole conference. I was like, I'll come back to this later, because I was already put off by them saying Souls-like and then seeing this, and I was like, in what world am I fighting what it looks to be Garland from Final Fantasy 1 as the boss? In what world am I fighting this knight and I'm wearing a fucking Lee t-shirt and you're calling it a Souls-like game? Get out of my face.
Yeah, right.
It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. And you're having cutscenes like this where it's like you have those reaction commands of like press triangle to grab, and there's never a point in Souls besides like a backstab where you have like an animation in your attack. This doesn't feel like, I don't know, Souls-like has been watered down so much that chaos that it's just, it means nothing anymore, and it's very hard to find a good Souls-like game.
Right, and that might be. I think that's I'm trying to. I think Team Ninja needs to stop, right? And maybe they're not even doing it. Maybe they aren't pushing it off as this. But then again, Neo 1 and 2, you've had 2 games that were considered that I think the general consensus comes out that it's not. And then you push out a Final Fantasy game. Yes, Final Fantasy has a cult following and all that kind of stuff. But then don't make it a Souls-like. Don't say it's Souls-like at all. You are your own company by now. You've pushed out 2 games that are, successful. They do a great job of what they are, but own what you are instead of trying to be something else. Right. I think that's just, I think you just have to do it.
I have a deep problem with the main character just wearing a Henley.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's just the fact that like I'm up against again what appears to be Garland, the main boss from Final Fantasy 1, and or someone like Garland, like a knight or soldier of some sort, and to be in the position of I'm gonna run in this castle and slaughter everybody in my sight, and I'm wearing a fucking teach because part of Dark Souls is the difficulty, of course, and it's to feel like you're small, but if you there's a difference between going in as the depraved or whatever, or deprived, and going, burnt skin, bacon skin naked in Dark Souls 1, running around rolling, and but you don't run into that room when you're on the bridge on Dark Souls 1 where they're throwing fire bombs at you, and on the Undeadburg beach, if you remember this, when you're on that bridge and you run into that room and there's 3 hollows in there and you're naked, you don't just go in there, fucking beat one up and then go to the next one, you run in there, you take one swing, you watch your back, and you're moving around and rolling.
You roll
and
it everywhere. So for sure.
There is no. You lose that element of difficulty when you say, "Hey, your main character is in a t-shirt and his guy's in a full set of armor, and you're fighting him." And to me, it's easy to just say, like, "All right, you're bringing a Final Fantasy 1 apparently boss into this game. Put us in Final Fantasy 1 clothing, put us in like knight's clothing, put us in the gear, or even like of a soldier like Cloud, and put me in actual soldier uniforms."
Yeah,
like,
it
armor
looks
and
like
stuff.
they're really trying to make their main character Noctis, which you could like switch the whole party's clothing and stuff. But like, why does he look different from the rest of the party?
I just hate edgelords. I just hate edgelord characters all the time in Final Fantasy, and especially their main characters.
Always. That's just Final Fantasy.
I know. It's just so annoying. At least Final Fantasy X was a breath of fresh air, where it was like, oh man, we get Titus, and he's not a dickhead all the time.
Right.
Where it's just like, I like what I do. I'm Titus, whatever his name was, and Cloud is, I don't want to do anything else just for money. And then Squall or Leon comes out like, I'd have.
Yeah, I do think
no one loves me.
I do think in Final Fantasy 15 they had very good character development. I think that's why I liked that game so much. But yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, this is not a Dark Souls game anyway.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah, that's like I said, they got to get away from. Just got to get away from
the topic of Final Fantasy. They also announced Final Fantasy Pixel or Pixelated or whatever. And that game looks like trash. Let's just say that. That was the thing that lost E3 for me, was the fact that they said, hey, we're going to make the 6 games from the original 6 games you guys all loved. And we're not going to put them in a combo pack. No, buy them individually. And they're on PC and mobile only. And you know how like in one you had the NES and in SNES graphics, and then in the PSP you had like the remake graphics? We're going to take the remake graphics and then downgrade those for you. Thanks. Have a great day.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that there are gamers out there that can't afford consoles.
Yeah.
And like they shouldn't be looked at as less gamers.
Mobile gaming is a big market for sure.
Yeah, but stop including mobile gaming in E3. That's not
why
people come for E3.
I legitimately have no problem with them saying, hey, this game is just for PC and mobile. Because honestly, like I have an emulator on my phone years ago where it was just to play Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on my phone when I was at work. Right. So being able to buy these games, would I buy them for $60 on my phone? That's going to be a hard thing to transfer the market into. A bit saying, hey, you've been playing Candy Crush on your phone, which is like $1 at a time, and now you're paying $60 for a game on your phone is a weird thing to be told to somebody.
Also, graphics, if I would never pay $60 for a game on my phone, because if I have the time to play a game on my phone as an adult, I'm sitting in my office where I could play games anyway, Like,
well, I mean that's the kind of logic of like, we buy the same I would not pay $60. I would pay $30 for the right game on my phone, thinking of the logic of I'm on the train to work or something, or I'm in like on a flight, or I'm just sitting in an office waiting for an appointment, and I can be playing on my Switch, but I got to bring my Switch along, you know, so I can have my phone in my pocket and just keep playing Final Fantasy. And to know that they're making them, the big thing for me was the graphics and the individuality, separating them all into 6 different games and not just putting them into one combo pack is a slap in the face, in my opinion.
Right.
So,
but is that the limitation of mobile?
Stop
maybe.
redoing those fucking Final Fantasy games.
Beach is just like, I don't even want to talk about it.
Stop remaking them. Stop. I know new generation of people. They're not going to want to play the old ones if you're fucking remaking them full-fledged into a brand new style of game. If you're already doing that, they're not going to want to play the old ones. I don't want to go back and play Final Fantasy 7 ever.
They'll never go back. They'll never go back and remake 1 through 6 though, the way they made 7. That's just not the same kind of story.
Right. But stop up-resing bullshit. Stop it.
That's the thing. They made it for PSP and it worked well and it looked great. And if the mobile market could have been just fine and said, hey, we have Final Fantasy 1 through 6 and they're $10 each on your phone, and I would easily pay $10 for a game on my phone and say, yeah, that's fine, I'll do that. And then I could say, but if you buy all 6 of them, you get them for like $50. You know what I mean? Like, all right, that's cool.
Do you consider cloud streaming to be mobile games?
Would
like Game Pass? I mean, you know what I mean?
I haven't done any cloud streaming in my life, but knowing the concept of it, I wouldn't really consider it mobile gaming.
But then what's the point then of mobile gaming?
So the state that mobile gaming is in right now is still really,
it's not popular here.
Gaming market, yeah, the mobile gaming market is something that's going to be cracked in the next 5 to 10 years, and it's going to explode and it's going to blow up. That's the next big innovation we see in gaming, aside from like the streaming service of Game Pass. It's going to be mobile gaming. It's going to be, you know,
it is
normal. Yeah.
Technically, that is the innovation, right? You get to play the same shit I have to play. I get to play at home, right? Like I could play Forza Horizon 5 on my phone, sitting on a train, on a plane, on a bus, whatever it could be. The same amount of whatever your output of your phone is, but like,
right?
Isn't that to me is the innovation? I know Stadia's tried it. I know. I think Luna is trying it with Amazon.
Right. But I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying it's normalizing it. It's getting, because if you went on the streets of New York and asked people like, hey, do you play games? Yes. And they said yes. And you said, all right, cool. What do you play on? And you asked them, hey, do you play mobile games? And they're like, no. And then you ask them, what's a mobile game? And they would say, oh, you know, Candy Crush, Clash of Clans, blah, 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 blah. They would not, if you said to them, you know, hey, you can play, what do you play? I play Forza. You can play it on your phone if you want. And they would say, oh, it's like a watered down version. No, it's the full game. They would probably not even believe you, because the marketing that goes behind cloud gaming is so small right now.
It's also, cloud gaming isn't so much mobile gaming as it is making your phone the monitor.
Right.
That's really all it is.
And also the fact that cloud,
technically a lot of those have touch capabilities. I was actually in line at GameStop waiting for your uncle, I guess my uncle too, but like waiting for his Xbox because he wasn't able to get one. So I was like, yeah, I'll go wait for you. I'm not doing anything. It's fine. I was sitting in line playing Gears of War, but I didn't have a controller with me. They have touch capabilities on the phone now. So like a lot of those games, what's that?
Is it a controller overlay? Do you see the buttons?
Well, you would have to, wouldn't you?
Right.
Wouldn't you have to?
Yeah. So it's still basically a monitor, just also a controller, but
Isn't that what all mobile gaming is? Minus the match three drag over, and isn't that all mobile gaming though? With an overlay, you don't see the controller of Candy Crush because you know what to do, right? But with these more complicated games, you have to, because you don't know what their A button is going to be at, or their gas pedal or whatever.
For me, mobile gaming's expansion and like growth, you guys have said, like obviously cloud gaming is a big thing. For me, mobile gaming's expansion will literally be when you make games that are not secondarily made for the phones. Like you guys are saying, obviously you have to have the controllers overlay, because you have to have like the ability to press triggers and stuff like that, and press A and B and X and Y, and it's. But if you have a game that is a shooter, I mean, Apple Play Arcade's trying to do stuff like that, and they're getting better at it every year. Right. It's not really there. There are some games that are like, if you have an iPad, you gotta get this game. You know what I mean? It's really good, but it's not like worth getting an iPad for. It's $800. but there are
Fuck.
there are, there are definitely games that are getting better at it. But I think, and like Astro said, mobile gaming is definitely an overseas market, and it's because there's to it than we are, because we are ingrained to think of mobile gaming as Candy Crush. That's what we think of. We don't think of serious gaming on the phone.
Right. I
games
even
like
I even
PUBG.
find it difficult to play the games that have touch capabilities from the streaming
Mhm.
devices. You know, like Xbox Game Pass or whatever they call it. xCloud is what they
Right.
call it.
xCloud, yeah.
I still find it very difficult. And I'm like, I'm not having fun. I tried playing Wreckfest, which is a driving game. I couldn't control it worth a shit. But granted, that probably comes with comfort and familiarity of it. You know what I mean?
Part of the game too. The game's kind of hard to control sometimes.
Yeah. But I was just like, I'm not. I don't find myself in very many situations where I'm sitting down and playing a game like that on my phone. The only time I had phone games, like you said, Candy Crush and like Bloons and like, Bloons TD, Tower Defense or whatever, and all those kind of games were my poop games, right? Where I had to go take a shit and like a poop game is I would just play whatever it was, right?
I will say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Okay. I will say I do think that's where I think it was Otter Gaming was their title, but the OtterBox conference that we saw and we were like, what is this? And then Beach, you and I looked into it, and it was them working on a device that holds the controller while using xCloud. I think that's where these companies could shine, is if you have a controller with you, you can play the full-fledged game on your phone.
A lot of those people have the thing that makes your phone into a Switch.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's just an extension of like, you've got your joysticks and whatever, which
and it's like,
then
it isn't even like, it's like slides open too.
Yeah. It comes open and smashes together and just hooks up to your phone.
You can buy them at $5 Below. So it's pretty, like, they're cheap,
Right. And I part of me is like, that I could get behind, but the touch stuff on my phone, Gears of War, like, come on, Gears 5, I'm not going to play with it. You know what I mean? I'm already, I'm already taking up some of the screen by doing what I'm in. But if you extend it and I'm not touching the screen, but then again, I have a controller, which is the same thing. But
here's the thing though, because this is hard for us to do. This is like difficult from the idea of me like playing Gears of War, like you said. I can't imagine playing that on touchscreen. But the kids can do it, because my wife's a nurse and she like is with the kids all day long, and she's like, these kids are playing everything on their phones. They're playing Fortnite on their phones, and I'm thinking that she's like, where's the controller at? They're using their fingers and they're building shit, and they're doing well because they've grown up on touchscreen. So I think mobile gaming will eventually grow to be much bigger than it is now, based on the back of this like upcoming generation of gamers, for one thing. But I also feel like, just going back, I think cloud anything is kind of a buzzword that scares people sometimes, because it's like, oh, the cloud's kind of weird, man. How does the cloud even work? It's like not complicated, but it's people. I know a lot of people are like, cloud is complicated. I don't know how to do cloud stuff, and it's like, it's not. You're just sending a picture to your phone.
You're literally doing cloud stuff every day. When somebody says that, they don't understand how the fucking anything works.
The cloud is very scary. People who don't understand the internet and computers work, and people who don't play PC gaming stuff are very much like, I don't know, man. I don't know how it works. I just push the button and it turns on. So being told like, I was like, what the fuck does that mean, man? I can't do that. That's not gonna work. Audio.
I think you're right. It's going to come together with another generation. I think of, I mean, my daughter's 3 and she loves playing the touch games. She does better than if I would put a controller in her hand, because that's twin stick, and she's obviously 3. She'll learn it as she gets older, but the twin stick, I've tried playing Minecraft with her. I was like, let me see how you do. Right. And then she literally looked straight up in the air and then spun in circles.
And so can't do it either. And clink.
And it's a lot of, and I get it. That's a lot of hand-eye coordination and, dual stick and all that kind of stuff.
Mouse and keyboard, easy. No problem.
Easy. Yeah. Just look at all these buttons. You can just press them all and see what happens, and click the 2 on over here. You'll be just fine. I wanted to talk about, I forgot about a couple announcements from Nintendo that I really enjoyed. Fatal Frame, Maiden in the Black Water. That looks fantastic. Fatal Frame games are brilliant. And then I really thought the Shin Megami Tensei 5 was really cool. Granted, I've never played them, but I thought those announcements were cool. I think those are 2 trailers that I could debunk my other statement. You know what I mean? About how they don't do anything new. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a help for those. But other than that, man, it was there really wasn't I think those were the big ones. There were I couldn't begin. This will go for another 2 to 3 hours if I was to even start talking about indie games. I can't do it. There's so many good ones. I think a couple that I think are notable, noticeable. Sable, I think Origami 2 is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to play that game. There were a couple other ones. There's one called Replaced. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was like a 2D. It's the one we talked about, Hermes, with like, it looks like they built a beautiful world through a pixel filter on it. That game looks fantastic. So if you get a chance, check out Replaced. That's going to be beautiful.
I can mention one.
Ooh, another one. Stalker 2.
That's
was
the one
at the
mentioned.
this was at the
Stalker 1.
Yeah.
I did
Stalker
not.
1.
Oh, he's a little too young for Stalker.
That's fair. 07 came out of 7.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys that.
But dude, the gameplay looks fantastic, and it's going to be next gen exclusive, man. I can't wait. Throwing the bolt and trying to find the anomalies, dude. Let's go.
That game was alive. I mean, that game is Hermes, you like survival games. I know you do. So this is going to be, you'll love Stalker 2, and just open world. The world itself was so alive. Oh my God. It was so good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, like the night was terrifying. I hated the nighttime because I was like, what's out in the dark? I don't know, man. I don't want to go out there. It's scary. I'm scared. I'm staying with these Russian dudes. I don't want to go over there.
It kind of, what it kind of reminds me of? Metro Exodus.
Metro, such a good game. My top 5 games of all time, actually.
Metro Exodus, yeah, it's it's really well done.
Again, reworking how more games work.
Let me see. I'm trying to go. Battlefield, of course, looks awesome. Oh, another one. I have another indie game. 12 Minutes.
Yes.
It has Willem Dafoe, who voices the cop.
Oh.
James McAvoy, who voices the male lead, and then Daisy Ridley, who voices the female lead. Like,
do tell.
Listen to this. That 3 people. Fucking what? 3 A-list. Okay. I don't know what lists they fall under, but still pretty fucking well-known celebrities, right?
Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley. Who else you said?
I said James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley.
Okay.
Daisy Ridley. Yeah. A-listers.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So that looks really, really fun. I can't wait for that. You said you had one? Sorry, go ahead. Hold on.
What?
You said you had an indie game?
Go ahead, Crit.
You said you had
the game I was going to say was the game I was going to say was Stalker 2.
Really? Oh, that's fucking awesome. Okay, I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know you were serious.
It's on my top 3. I think games announcements for the whole thing. So.
Fuck yeah! All right, Hermes, go ahead.
A Game Pass announcement that we skipped was the Left 4 Dead successor coming to Game Pass day 1.
That's
Back
pretty
for
big.
Blood.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's huge.
That's pretty big.
That's good news, man.
That's I'll take you throw anything in Game Pass, I'm gonna try it as best that I can, right?
Yeah.
Back for Blood looks fantastic. I've already signed up. I'm getting into, I think, some of the betas or closed betas or alphas or whatever the fuck.
Sweet.
So if you get a chance, definitely check those out. I don't think I'll be able to stream some of the early ones, but hopefully some of the later betas I'll be able to stream. That'll be a lot of fun. Oh man, there was another one I can't remember. Fallout 76. If anybody plays that, they have the Pit coming, which was a big expansion for some of the older ones. So that's kind of cool that they're bringing the Pit. The Pit was Fallout 3. Fallout 3. Obviously, it's Pittsburgh, but it's the Pit is what they call it now. So that'll be cool. Slime Rancher 2. If any of you guys love any adorable, I'm surprised Crit haven't played Slime Rancher. I feel why do I feel like that is why do I feel like that's a DaddyCrit game?
Crit, you got to play it. It's
I feel like it's got your name written all over it.
I definitely lost 2 months playing that game.
People I've talked to before weren't huge fans of it, so that's probably why I haven't played it. But
really,
I will definitely check it out and definitely see.
I'll say
because I've heard both things, like what you just said, and also the same thing too. Like, you love the game, it was all right, that kind of thing. So Astro
put it perfectly. No man's slime.
No man's slime.
Exactly. Yes. Very well done.
Yep.
Shredders looks fun. It's a new snowboarding game. Which I'll check out. Did you play a Plague Tale Innocence?
I've watched part of it. I have not played it. It was on Game Pass and it's off Game Pass now, so I missed out on that.
Is it off Game Pass?
Yeah, it's off Game Pass. It left Game Pass like a month ago.
Damn.
So I was gonna play it, and then I was like, "Oh man, can I kill this game in like 4 days? I don't have time for that. I need Apex." So I just didn't. Actually, no, I was in Warzone at the time. So I just didn't play it. But I was like, I kept putting off playing it, and then it was like, "Yeah, leaves Game Pass in 4 days," and I was like, "Oh no." So, but I've seen a streamer friend of mine, Lene.
It says it's on Game Pass.
Is it?
5 days ago, yeah. And it's getting a 4K 60 FPS for the Xbox Series X. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I'm sure they put it back on just for like this announcement.
Yeah.
Atomic Heart, I already gushed about that.
2 Point Academy or 2 Point Campus is coming out. I'm excited about that.
So. Are you? Yeah, my wife, she really enjoyed 2 Point Hospital.
Yeah.
And I think Campus is going to be
my wife
pretty good
too.
stuff.
She was any game about like a hospital or like being like that makes fun of her job is great for her. So she's a big fan of that.
There is a game that I'm going to butcher that somebody in chat, I think Astro, told me how to say. It is a Yuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes. I probably said that wrong. A lot of people are excited for that. I guess that's coming out for Game Pass and to the Xbox. Delayed until 2023 though, which is quite a long time away.
Forget about it.
I'm flying through some of these things. Go ahead.
A lot of people also excited about Life is Strange True Colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming as well.
Yeah, that's going to be. I kind of wish. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't play but follows it because my wife does, and I usually watch when she plays. I wish it followed more of a like. No spoilers, but like I wish it followed a main person and kind of went through, and you know what I mean. I'm huge on like 1, 2, and 3 is like Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 is Commander Shepard. Like you know what I mean. Like that's who you are. That's who you grow with. That's who you continue to have with. But maybe their whole take is like, no, these are individual stories told on individual events that don't necessarily connect, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm more of a fan of continuation of
at that point make it Life is Strange, but not 1, 2, and 3 make it Life is Strange, such and such, and then like in Strange, subtitle or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I don't think there's a ton else I could really talk about. Shoot, man.
We saw some new Overwatch 2 designs.
I'll be honest.
If
like,
you
hey, we made
that,
Overwatch 2, and like it's been 5 years.
Hey, don't forget we made this game, but there's no release date yet.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're making this game. Cool. Want to see some of it? Yeah, it's like just better.
Here's
graphics.
A skin.
It's like
here's 2 skins.
We assumed better graphics. Like, can I see a map or something? Like, no, we don't have that yet. Oh, fuck, dude. All right. Thanks.
There was Jurassic World Evolution 2. I don't know if anybody's looking forward to that. That seems like it'll be kind of cool. Death Stranding Director's Cut seems kind of strange. Solar Ash looks fantastic. Oh man, there's another one here. Anacrusis, that's another game coming to Game Pass. That's kind of Left 4 Dead-esque, where you're shooting aliens instead of. It's a little bit more animated, I guess, than Left 4 Dead. It's not as, you're not getting a realistic, you're getting more of a space kind of vibe to it, which is be kind of cool. We'll see how that goes. Ooh, I forgot about this. Planet of Lana. Yeah, an indie game that I'm very, very excited about. One of my favorites. I forgot to mention it. If you guys get a chance here, I'm actually going to post something about it in the chat if you guys want to check it out. I'm very excited about it. It's a hand-painted puzzle adventure game.
Yes, this looked amazing.
That's cute.
So I think that'll be really, really cool to check out. Show some love there. A lot of the background is hand-painted, which is fucking just insane to me, the creativity that people have and artists.
I remember this. People were saying it's like Limbo, but in color almost.
Yeah,
Limbo inside kind of game.
Really, really good.
I'll play this for sure.
Anything that we didn't see that you guys maybe wish you would have? Not necessarily disappointed, but wish you would have seen either more or in general, just as a whole.
I'm gonna preach this till the day I die because I want more information on it. The Indiana Jones title. I'd love that. There's also a Star Wars game that's been announced that we have no information on. We just know that there's another Star Wars game in the works.
By Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you probably won't hear about that for a while. Just like Indiana Jones. They were like, hey, we have this. It's going to happen.
Yep.
We'll see. You know what I mean? Well, it'll come out when it's ready. Probably 2023, 2024, to be honest with you. That'd be my guess for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I'm always disappointed at any Nintendo Direct when they don't do more sports games. I'll be honest. That's just my big thing, because I think they're missing out on, even if it's a re-release, even if it's going back and remaking the old games, when they don't do like the
Astro's killing me.
oh god, Team Astro.
He's waiting for
that's
Final Fantasy 1 through 6 picks.
The biggest disappointment besides the other Final Fantasy game to me. But what's wrong?
I am buffering quite a bit.
You're good on my side.
Yeah, we're
You're
back.
good on me.
We're back.
Cool.
But for me, I'm always disappointed to not see Mario Striker Soccer, Mario Baseball.
Yes.
They made the tennis game, and they made tennis a couple years ago, and I was excited. And then it was like, oh, Mario Tennis, where you like play tennis? That doesn't happen here. Like where you and like a friend can just play tennis together? No, that doesn't happen.
No.
You can play mini game tennis, and you can play like challenge mode. Can I just play a game? No, you cannot. You cannot do that. That's not what this is about. But now Mario Golf Super Rush is coming out in literally 4 days, and I'm excited for that, which looks pretty good. So I'm hopeful that they'll bring back,
this starts at
Soccer Mario, and they'll bring back Baseball Mario, and they'll make a Basketball Mario, because those things were great. And I think if they went back and just made a remake of the original sports games, it would do really well. But
I agree.
People love strikers. They buy a whole game for just strikers.
Oh yeah.
But for beyond that, I think there really hasn't been anything that I was super looking forward to in terms of any of their franchises. I know Starfield's coming out first. I just wish Elder Scrolls 6 came out before Starfield did. Because
I wish we would have got some information there. For sure.
Just information, because they said, like, Todd Howard, first of all, spent a lot of time tweeting this whole weekend, because he was, apologizing for, like, not for the exclusivity of the games, but for your feelings about the games and how it sucks. And I'm sorry. It's like, it's almost like a breakup. It's like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but like, we got to go this way, blah, 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 blah. And, but also just saying that, like, he already say, like, it's like a Han Solo simulator meets something else.
Yeah.
Starfield. I forget what it was, but I'm like, this trailer you dropped has an entirely different tone to me than the idea of a Han Solo simulator. And this is a tonal trailer. This is like, let's set the tone for the game. And it seems to me almost like a Space Odyssey, a Arthur C. Clarke novel, as opposed to a Star Wars game. You know what I mean?
It feels more like a Mass Effect than it does.
Yeah, it feels more personal, more like local solar system than it does like galaxy hopping and things like that. So I'm like, what are we doing in this game? And that to me seems like we know nothing. We know less than nothing, because we're doing two different things.
Here's why I think you guys want more information on Elder Scrolls 6, because it makes you comfortable. Starfield doesn't make you comfortable because you don't know what it is, right? You know what you're going to get with Elder Scrolls 6.
If I got more, I'd be happy with it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree, because it is like, I know what I get with Elder Scrolls. I am also scared of that too, to be fair, because I'm scared of them coming out and saying, here's Elder Scrolls 6, and it's like, oh man, this does not look like Skyrim at all, and we all loved Skyrim, and this is like,
I think that's the worst thing they could do, is change from the Skyrim.
If you just take Skyrim, make it bigger and better, that's it. Don't change things. Just literally take Skyrim and move it somewhere else.
Wow, this sounds like a lot of Nintendo thinking. That's what it sounds like to me.
But if it works, don't fix it, my guy.
You fuckers.
No, because Skyrim was fantastic, and there's some things that could have been improved, don't get me wrong, but Skyrim was fantastic, and if you just take it and make it a bigger map and make it more things in there that are new, I'll be happy. And so will the entire Elder Scrolls community.
Let's add some old things that were good and popular, and we could just recycle. Let's just do that. Let's take some old area. You know what? Let's just add Oblivion to it. Let's just wait a second. Morrowind's an area. Let's make that in here too.
Put it in here, so I don't want to hear.
God damn it.
I have 3 more games for you boys that were missing out from E3. I've got Dead Island 2, because we haven't heard anything since 2014.
I had that game pre-ordered in 2014. Me and Ness had it. Me and Ness, my wife, had it paid off. 2 copies of it paid off. And then they were like, we're going to take it out of the system. And we're like, okay, well, fucking move it over to something else that's actually real.
Right. Also, and this might be because of Sony not attending, basically.
Or hasn't been there yet.
Right. Hogwarts Legacy.
That's the one. That's the big one. Yeah.
Looks amazing. I want to see more. I want more. As well as Fable.
Fable 4. Yep.
You're not gonna see Fable. Fable's probably not gonna come out till 2023, 2024. I guarantee that.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
What are they? What
they just came out. They just did the same thing that Outer Worlds just did when they were like, "Hey, we've got some shit happening." Here's they did what Bethesda did last year with Elder Scrolls. Here's a title screen. Boom, we're making it. And they were like, "Fable, it's real. It's coming back." That's it. Yeah. So don't expect that for a while. Also, that's the Playground team that's making Forza Horizon.
Okay.
They're just split up.
A couple of games that I just thought of too that I hadn't really thought of before. I'm surprised Beach didn't mention this one.
I have one.
4?
Yeah, I'm waiting, but I think they're gonna do it on their own thing. But here, you want to hear what my prediction is for BioShock?
I got a couple. Yeah, what's yours?
My prediction for BioShock is that. Do you remember the original BioShock was exclusive to Xbox?
Yeah. I
think that's what's going to happen again.
Okay.
I think because Xbox has been rumored to be purchasing IPs, not necessarily, no, fuck no. Oh my God, 2K games? What? That's Take-Two Interactive, and there's no way. That is much more than Bethesda.
Yeah. No way, dude.
I wish, but that's not.
Did you get up? Did you play 2K20 at all? And like the currency situation, how much money they made on that game? Oh my God.
It's fucking FIFA.
You want to get a haircut in game? $4.
Yeah, $4 actual real dollars. Unless you earned it in game. But yeah.
For 40 hours of play.
Hell no.
40 hours of gameplay to cut your hair.
Yeah, my hot take is that they're buying that IP for some reason. But that's just a big dream of mine. And it really doesn't matter if they do or don't. It's just one of those things where I think they're digging. I don't know. We've only heard a little bit and that it might be open world BioShock, so I'm concerned. Not concerned.
I think that it is
what it is.
Metro style open world where it's pocket areas, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a good BioShock of like go explore all of the city, you know what I mean? But I can see it where it's like go from like, hop on the tram to get into this part of the city, and that's an open world area.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you. I don't think there needs to be. I think what you could do is you could just give me Rapture as an open world, right? But don't have the weird loading times in between. Just have all the areas open, and I can go as I please. I think having bosses in specific areas and like wandering enemies, NPCs, and things like that would be awesome for BioShock. I think it'd be really, really cool. Not so linear. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But whatever I get in that world, I think in universe will be absolutely fantastic. The one game, not disappointed, but I'm surprised, but also not surprised we didn't see anything on was Avowed, which is Obsidian's big Western RPG that they're doing. So but I also am not surprised. Is that Obsidian? Yes, it is Obsidian. Yeah, it's Obsidian. Yeah, because they did Grounded, then they made the announcement they're making Avowed, but then they also just said something
Skyrim-esque.
Right, but then they just said that they're making Outer Worlds 2. So you're telling me Obsidian is going to have Grounded consistently updated and worked on. You're going to have Outer Worlds 2 eventually. You're going to have Avowed. Those are 2 very large games, right? 2 very large games.
Yeah, and Grounded, as I'm coming to find out, has a big cult following behind it. Like there are a ton of people who are super excited.
Grounded's a lot of fun. And one thing I'm surprised we didn't see anything from Nintendo was the new Pokemon game. Arceus or whatever it's called. Yeah. Weird, you didn't see anything about that. Kind of surprised.
I'm not surprised just because of the fact that they haven't. They'll probably announce it early next year because of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake coming out this year, and they do a really like everyone always asks like why don't they had Pokemon Red and Blue on the DS store, why don't they do that now for the Switch? And it's like,
Yeah.
because they put a new Pokemon game out, they don't want you splitting your time. If my cat's fighting in the background, they don't
Let's
want to
go.
split your time between the new Pokemon games and the old ones and all that. So they want to basically focus on Diamond and Pearl, let that be a thing, and then let the sales for that go out, and then they can say, all right, cool, Arceus is coming in a year or two,
Okay.
and they'll put that out. So I think
Gotcha.
that I'm not surprised. Plus, they also announced Breath of the Wild, so it was like, let's not put everything out at once. Let's have something to show at the next direct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they do
There's
events,
also
that's right.
there's also still Gamescom yet. That's end of August.
That's true.
That's very
That's
true.
true.
Yeah, those are, but I don't
think-
ever get to watch those because it's like ass crack of fucking the morning, right?
Yes,
Just
that's
like-
very true.
Looking at a list here of things that are like interesting to me as well that it didn't come out, like games that they were thinking were going to come out that never did. Mario Kart 9 was not announced but was hoped for. There was talk about getting another Mario Kart.
Ooh, I have
and it
another
hasn't
one too
happened yet.
for Nintendo.
I do as well.
But I think they're probably going to focus more on Mario Odyssey 2 before they do Mario Kart. Personally, more Zelda remasters was a big thing. Are we going to get another remaster of Zelda? But that's fine. We didn't need one. I know
The answer is yes.
Peach's thoughts on that.
The answer is yes. You're going to get
Um,
remasters of all the old shit.
We didn't get what was it? We did not get the DLC announcement for Cuphead, which is the big thing because Cuphead DLC was been in the works for a while and hasn't been announced yet, or hasn't been shown at all yet.
They're working on the TV show.
I guess
Yeah,
that's true.
true.
Yeah. The big one for me, and Final Fantasy 16 was another thing too, because they've been talking about that for a while.
You're gonna see
But-
that at Sony.
Yeah, that's fair. I was surprised that we didn't see what was it? Lego Star Wars. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga
Mm-hmm.
has been in development
Was that Warner Brothers?
and on Steam. I think so.
Yes.
And on Steam, and like on my wish list for a year. And it's just a compilation of all the old games and the new ones too, and that's it. And they just haven't done it yet. Because
Yeah.
they made 7 and they were going to make 8 and 9. They were just like, no, fuck it, we'll just make them all together and put it in a big pack and sell it that way because no one's buying Lego games anymore.
Right.
And Lego Star Wars games are actually really good, so I was going to buy that, but I was expecting to see some kind of something from that, like announcement of like releasing this day, because we know the gameplay looks like it's just Lego games, so we don't see a lot of that.
Crit,
Right.
I'm not sure if you're on the same article as I am, but it does say that the a big opportunity for that game to be shown is at LegoCon, which is
LegoCon,
taking place on
yeah.
Saturday, the 26th of June.
Next-
so
next
that
Saturday.
next Saturday, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
smart.
true. Ooh,
That'd be
I'm
very
excited.
smart
I'm
to put it
excited
there.
for that.
Astro in
go to
chat
the
says Splatoon 3.
Also that, yeah, we haven't seen
Yeah.
Splatoon 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, is that that's their biggest newer IP
Right.
besides Mario and Rabbids. And they haven't done anything.
My game that my game is that you haven't seen. It's a prediction actually I made Hermes that we had in one of our previous shows was for Nintendo. We didn't see anything on a new Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised that Donkey Kong feels like a
Afterthought.
a stepchild or afterthought or whatever you want to say. Like it just feels like it, right?
I think that
Yeah.
the ice one didn't do very well, did it? On the Wii U, but it also was on the Wii U. Was a hard thing to say. The
Yeah.
Donkey Kong's
Tropical Freeze.
Frozen Tropical Freeze. Yeah. And when
Yeah.
they made it, they brought it to Switch, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I don't
we
think
have
it did
it.
very well. Good. Is it good?
I enjoy it. I mean, it is what it is. It's a 2D. You got your 2D aspect. Here's what I would like to see as a fantastic, here's my wish for Nintendo to do something different, but we'll see how that goes. Is for them to make a Donkey Kong game, but in the style of Mario Odyssey.
Mhm.
How cool would that be, right?
Right.
Like having the free, get his ass out of the 2D realm. Right? I just feel like give him the open world to do whatever Donkey Kong does. I feel like can be made so well. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You would get him out of the same style that he's been in for whatever. I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the big thing about that Donkey Kong that keeps him in the stepchild realm is the fact that he These games are very much Super Mario Brothers games. They're not. I mean, and that's the thing is Nintendo's been moving away from because they were doing for a while. They were doing Super Mario Brothers, like the new ones, and then like featuring like Super Mario Brothers plus Luigi or whatever, and they were doing well on the Wii U. And then as they moved into Switch, they were mentioning that they stopped seeing as much of a return on the investment into the 2D Mario space because then they started making games like Mario 3D Land, Mario 3D World, Mario
Love
Galaxy,
those.
Mario Odyssey, and it was like we've seen Mario in 3D, and we don't really want to go back to 2D as much because 2D is very played out. Mario Maker is where you see the 2D stuff, and it was like let's take this thing that works and then just modernize it to be, we don't want to have to make a million games. You guys can make a million games, and we'll profit off of that.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
But so if you want Donkey Kong, you have to put him into a 3D space to make him viable, I think. And I think that he's kind of in the back burner in terms of what they've been doing. I think that if they brought a new game in, it would have to be to do well. I think it'd have to be a 3D Donkey Kong, and I think it'd be cool. I agree with you. I think it would be cool. We just haven't seen anything like it for a while. So
I think it'd be a fantastic touch. Honestly, I think it'd be great. I think it's a twist, right? I think it would be a new direction to go for Donkey Kong.
I agree.
I don't. Yeah, that actually was just recently delayed. So part of me is like, if you have stuff to show and then delay it, right? Be a little weird, but also that's another WB property. They didn't have a whole ton of, they didn't have a whole big presence, honestly.
Which game E3 this year? What are we talking about?
Gotham Knights, which is
as well as Kill the Justice League. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
That one's far away. That's my opinion. Is that one's actually probably late 2022, early 2023. To be honest with you, I think that one's far.
With that one again, DC still has a con yet this year that has to happen.
Fandom or whatever.
Fandom. Yeah.
Cool. That could happen there too.
We just mentioned that Nintendo Direct we're getting another Direct soon too, didn't we? Did we already say that? Did we bring that up already?
They're doing a deep dive into as far as I know, that's a deep dive into the fighting character.
Kind of like, it's kind of like
40 minutes worth of information about DLC. Yeah.
Yep.
It's also kind of like the Xbox extended edition. Their conference had an extended edition.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and so
which is nice. I'm glad they did that. They separated it. They were like, here's all the announcements. There's 30 fucking games, right? And then if you want more information on these games, we're doing something a little bit. We're doing
which essentially was the devlogs, because I did tune in and watch for a little bit. So yeah, it was pretty cool that they saved all the devlogs for something else.
Smart,
because people don't love seeing that.
It's very smart. Yeah, not everybody wants that. They want their E3 announcements. I want you boom, boom, boom. Give me 2 to 3 minute trailers and get the fuck out. Right. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's very, very smart.
Being watching 19 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of much, personally.
Oh my god.
I was like, get over this. All right, I get it. Sucker Pro, it needs to go away. But so going back to Nintendo, I think
it's like we get it. You're not going to be in the Marvel's Avengers. We understand. You know what I mean? You're not getting your own DLC. We get it. You get your own game. Congratulations.
Right.
Congrats.
Fuck off.
With Splatoon, I think that Splatoon 3, the big ones we know they're coming that we just haven't seen yet, but like Splatoon 3, Arceus, and the other thing, I forgot what I was going to say, but Splatoon 3 and Arceus are 2 big announcements, and and Odyssey 2 are 3 big announcements that have to be made. But Nintendo's always been the slow trickle release company where it's like, let's milk these things for a long time. Like we've been saying, like we can put a Zelda remake out 3 times because we haven't had that Zelda remake in the last 7 years on this console. You know what I mean? So like we put Skyward Sword out remake. No one liked it on the Wii. Welcome to the Joy-Con to the Switch. No one played it on Wii. Try it now. Blah blah blah. Switch is the best console of all time. Blah blah whatever. So we can get more. But I think that like it's not surprising we didn't see Splatoon or Arceus because they announced Breath of the Wild. So you usually only get one big announcement at Nintendo Direct to kind of like satisfy the masses, and then it's like, all right, cool, we did that, and then you go and buy Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. All right, sweet, announcing Splatoon 3 coming summer of 2022. And it's like, whoa, that's great. And then May comes around, March comes around. It's like this holiday season, Arceus trailer. You know what I mean? And it kind of gets you hyped up again for it. So they want to slow trickle you. So it's not surprising to me that we don't. I mean, Nintendo Direct is just one company, and they're slowly leaking out stuff. So
right.
but I am
agree.
excited if they bring that out. So I want to see what Arceus, because Arceus's trailer we saw so far was very barren, in my opinion. It was like you're walking around the world like you were in Pokemon Sword and Shield, where it was like there's trees and there's bushes, but not very much of them. But it's a Pokemon game. I'm still fighting Pokemon and catching Pokemon, so I'm okay with that. But if it's like an open world game where I'm not like taking turn-based combat, that's not okay with me. I want to see more than just a tree every 30 steps, you know?
Yeah,
So
I feel that.
Right.
I feel that.
If you took Sword and Shield's world and took that into like an action standpoint, I would think this is boring as fuck. I don't want this anymore. No, thank you. So we'll see how they do that.
But. Oh man, I was overall pleased. I mean, with E3 this year. I mean, it wasn't. I can't ever say it's a disappointment. As somebody who prefers Xbox. Yeah, I mean, I could have been happy right after that, but like I even after Summer Game Fest, which was the kickoff live, was the first event, and they were like, it's time. Here's motherfucking Elden Ring, and you're like, holy shit! I could probably not give a shit about the rest of E3, but
I could have watched the Steam pile of shit for the next 4 days and been fine.
Yeah, right. It would have been. I would have considered it a success for how soon Elden Ring is coming out, being that it's 6-7 months away. Which is,
it's actually coming. It's actually,
yeah, dude, it's real. Oh, yuck. It's so good to think about. But yeah, no, not disappointed overall. Great stuff. I am very curious to see what and if not Nintendo, but PlayStation does anything. That's kind of who we're waiting on, right? That's it. That's the only. That's got to be maybe. I mean, God of War, Ragnarok. I'm sure what is it?
Potter, like Hermes said.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it might be Harry Potter, but that's also WB. So maybe not. I don't know.
Harry Potter would be fantastic. Saying anything at all.
So yeah, there's a lot that we have yet to see from them. They're very quiet, which is weird. They just release games and then disappear. Right? That's so weird. PlayStation is so strange to me. I am going to be buying an Xbox X Series X mini fridge. Going to be buying that. That's going to be great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be fun. But hopefully we can get some PlayStation news. Any other games coming out from them? I mean, Forbidden West, Horizon. That's something you can probably look forward to. Oh, I'm going to say it. I'm sorry. I have a disappointment that I didn't see. I'm not surprised we didn't see it, but I'm just disappointed, and I'm going to continue and die on this hill. But we didn't hear anything about or see anything about a fucking Splinter Cell game.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
I wish.
And we probably never will, because he's getting an animated TV show and he's probably going to die in it. And then they're just going to fucking not have it ever again. And see you later, Sam Fisher. Fucking adios, Splinter Cell.
I miss the old voice actor. I miss Conviction's voice actor.
Ironside, like Michael Ironside.
Yeah, I like him better than Blacklist's voice actor. It just felt.
Yeah, no, he's the original one. He's done it so many times, but he also was battling like cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, I feel bad now. Never mind. I'm sorry.
So,
you stuck your job. I'm battling cancer. Oh shit.
Let me see. Michael Ironside is. You know who that is? He's actually like a big famous actor and stuff too. He's still alive. That's good. He's only about 61 years old. I'm trying to find the games. Which all games? Ghost Recon. He was in Breakpoint. Oh, okay. So he did Sam Fisher's in Breakpoint, because Sam Fisher was an add-on, or yeah. So he did the most recent Sam Fisher thing, which is kind of cool. What was the other one he was in? You're right. I want to play that. Holy shit, dude. When was the last game? Convictions was the last one, or Blacklist was the last one? Blacklist, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking, who was the voice actor in Conviction?
Wasn't Siege technically the last thing that Sam Fisher was in?
Sam Fisher, yes, but not Michael Ironside.
Got you.
Who voiced him? Why can't Conviction? He did Conviction in 2010. so many years ago.
What's Elite Squad? What is that?
Wait, did he do that?
Yeah, he was in there.
That is a mobile game, if I'm not mistaken.
Also in Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, I'm fucking not happy about it. So give that man the reins. Oh, he was in Starship Troopers. Yes, exactly, Astro, for sure. Yes, exactly.
Total Recall as well.
Yep. So one of my favorite, if you guys can see, you probably can't actually, but it's back there. I have night vision goggles somewhere. Fucking, it's somewhere over here. Ooh, it's over there. It's one of my favorite things. I got it for $5 at a GameStop because it clearanced out. It was so great.
Let's go.
But I don't know. You guys, anything else to add? Anything else to talk about for E3? Any other games? Nothing?
Can't wait for Gamescom. I think that'll be cool. End of August.
Yeah, it'll be nice to catch all the stuff coming out of there the day after. Or at least whenever the fuck we wake up and can talk about it, right?
Right.
So,
early morning, grab your coffee, split screen. Let's go.
Fuck that. But on that note, if you guys are catching this on YouTube, I deeply appreciate you. Thank you for watching it. We do a split screen every Friday around 9 p.m. Eastern time. We've done a little bit of weird ones coming up. We have an interview coming up with a the current streamer. What the fuck, former? Current streamer. Yeah, we have the former. We have the former right here. We have an interview coming up with a streamer who goes by the name of Mystic Kitten. We reached out to her and she said she would be honored. So we were glad to have her on. That's going to be a blast. As far as a date for that, we're not quite sure. I'm going to shoot for this Friday or a week from today. But if not, that's okay. I will keep the schedule up. Me and Hermes will do another show. Crit, as always, you're welcome to come back. But like I said, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can always catch live content over on my channel at twitch.tv/beachhead34. Live Monday through Fridays, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time to 3 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, Fridays we do split screen, which is a lot of fun. I'm so glad we started doing this. I really, really am. I have such a good fucking time doing this and just sitting down and chilling and talking and having fun. There's not always a lot to talk about, but we can always figure it out. We can just shoot the shit if we have to, you know what I mean? But keeping this consistent. And Crit, like I said, always welcome back. Whenever you want, you tell me, hey, I'm going to sit in this one. Sure. Fuck it. I don't care. But Hermes, where can they find you, my man?
You can find me at Hermes Akumu on all social media that matters. And yeah, lately I have been getting my streaming stuff around, so follow me on Twitch as well. Come back. Oh my goodness gracious.
Come back, kid.
Also, if you have any commissions or anything like that, Hermes, can they reach out to you? What's the best place?
Discord. I am Hermes Akumu #0001.
Whoa.
Weird. Okay, but cool. Yep. Weird, but really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm down with it, man.
Awesome. Good deal. Crit, what about you? Where can they reach you if anywhere? If not, that's okay.
You can attempt to reach me on Twitch. I haven't been there in a while. DaddyCrit. You can get me on Twitter, DaddyCrit. You can find me in Apex Legends for sure. DJ DaddyCrit Origin. DJ DaddyCrit, the original, the OG. So yeah, happy to
awesome.
You.
Good deal. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Of course, you can find me Beachhead34 on Twitch, Beachhead34 on Twitter, and some other weird ones on other place, but you can find that on my channel, so don't even worry about it. But like I said, catch my live content Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you everybody for hanging out. We are going to do a raid right now. So stick in for that and we'll do that right now. Thanks everybody. YouTube, have a good day. We'll see you on the live stuff. Bye.